Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the McDonCast, the funnest podcast in town.
Yay, we're back.
Woo!
We're back from our
Happy
break.
New Year, everybody.
It's 2023.
Happy New
The
Year.
23rd year after the first 2,000 years.
I mean,
And the 5th year of our podcast.
That's just not true.
year 3, right?
Yeah, this is season 3.
We're in season 3.
Actually,
But-
year 3, yeah.
And it's also not the 2023rd year because there were years before we started.
No, I said this is the 23rd year since the 2000th.
But the 2000th year wasn't the actual 2000th.
Well, the calendar was made up anyway, so none of the days mean anything.
Well,
and
we
years
don't-
are arbitrary
no, the days
standards
do
of
need
time.
something because 365
But it's also
is
the
what it takes to
21st
rotate
year
around
since the
sun.
year in
But that's
which I
not
was
true.
born.
It's 365.4.
Yeah, but the point 4 is why we have leap year.
I know, but that means that the calendar is not actually the right. It's just a
'cause
random
if
day.
Yeah, but if it was,
Because if we wanted it to be accurate, we'd make it so it
it'd be
matches.
a weird amount of hours in a day, though.
So why is it 24? 24 is also just a random number they pulled out of thin air.
It's 12 hours, 12 hours.
No,
Good.
it should be 10. It should be 5 hours and
Sam's
5
angry
hours.
about the way we do calendars.
Does
Yeah,
it
because calendars
matter?
are freaking stupid. Anyways, hello everybody and welcome back. I hope y'all are
That's
pippity
not a
papa
very festive way to
lopping
start off our
to get us
a New Year's
flibbity
celebration.
jibbity and jamming.
So, happy New Year to all of our very loyal listeners. We are, of course, for our people who watch us on the video version, our set's a little bit mixed up. We're trying something new.
This is how it was meant to be when we first moved here. We just never set it up this way.
It might stay this way.
So is it
might
looking
not.
nice and spicy?
We'll see
Yeah,
how
it's
it
like-
feels.
Remember how we had it set up back when the podcast was in my room?
Yeah.
It's like that.
It's all right. We'll see how it goes. If we do end up moving over here, though, we'll of course move all the
We'll
set
move the
props.
posters and things.
But we'll see how this goes. If you like it, tell us. If you don't, also
Too
tell us.
bad. All right.
If you like it and you don't like it, comment both, but in 2 separate comments.
Tell us to do some other thing. All right. Starting us right off with
Say
our
it.
first piece of it's not really gaming, TV, or movie news.
I guess you could put this under our occasional tech time segment.
Yeah, this would more fall under tech time. This is more like internet entertainment news.
Oh, basically, so here's how the show is gonna go. So we were off for 2 weeks. We took Christmas and New Year's off.
Yes.
So there was a lot of news since then. We're not going to talk about all of it this week because we just do not have the time. So this week we're just going to talk about a couple things, and then we're going to do our big 2023 preview. Then we're going to talk about some movies we saw, and that'll be this episode. Next week is when we'll cover all of the news that we missed to catch you all up and to catch ourselves up because I've been asleep a lot. So
And we'll do
Sam?
it all in the quick span of 1 hour.
yes, we're going to do our...
yes.
No, we're not. It's not going to be an hour.
Trying to make Patrick as big as we can. There we
Patrick
go.
keeps turning his camera off.
There we
He's
go.
very-
Now they can see him. Now they can see him.
He's very clearly in bed as well.
Hey, he's chilling.
Are you
All right.
laying on your
I
side
have
doing this?
self-respect.
You're not
That's
even
why
s-
you chose to not
He's
sit
not
up.
even sitting up.
All right, but getting things started off with our first piece of news. Patrick, you might have heard about this. YouTube recently changed their policy on profanity. So they're cracking down on swearing. Essentially, you can't say any swear words. Used to it was like within the first 30 seconds. Now it's in the first 15 seconds if you swear, pretty much no matter what it is, instant demonetize. And they will be checking the rest of your video, and if you swear a lot in the rest of your video, also demonetized. Used to it was just the first 30 seconds that you actually had to care about. The rest was pretty much fair
Don't
game.
they count like bleeping it as swearing now too, or something like that?
Yeah, bleeping counts as swearing,
Which
so
is
you can't
very dumb.
you can't bleep either. And they're
I
also
feel like
cracking down
you
on
could've-
gore.
I feel like this should just be for YouTube Kids stuff and not like everyone else because I feel like we're all adults and we should be able to watch whatever we want.
Well,
Yeah, man.
is it the whole thing about the not swearing so that it's family friendly, but also aren't you not allowed to monetize family friendly videos now?
You can't monetize content that is made for
yeah,
kids.
so if it's not made for kids, which no content on YouTube is anymore, then why are you not allowed to swear in any of it anymore?
Man, if only they developed like like a second app that was just kids content, so you could like separate, what's appropriate and what's not. If only they had done that. If only that were a thing they've already done.
Also, why are you trying to uniformly make everything accessible to children? That makes no sense.
Probably because they're just mad at parents complaining about, oh, YouTube told my kid the poop word.
Maybe don't just hand your kid an iPad with unlimited YouTube access on it and expect them
watching what the kids are watching. Like, parents need to be on top of that. YouTube should let people watch whatever they want.
Yeah, maybe like parents should do like parenting.
Maybe just like don't give them unrestricted access to the internet.
But yeah, so in addition to their new rules on swearing, they're cracking down on gore as well. So anything bloody, any blood, any
Midnight Massacre is gone.
Any kind of like gore, like you're gonna get demonetized.
Which, okay, I kind of get that a little bit. Obviously, you don't want like snuff videos on the platform,
but
right?
Those aren't on YouTube.
I'm just saying, like
they haven't been since like the ISIS days.
No, but you also don't want like videos of like if someone is doing like a dumb prank and they hurt themselves.
No, like cartoon violence.
I know I'm getting to that. But like if you like put a movie trailer for a horror movie on there, and it's got a lot of blood in it, and someone does like a reaction video,
about specifically like real life gore, like someone
no, it's
hit by a bus,
simulated gore, real life gore, or cartoon violence. All those three things are being cracked down on.
Did you guys see Jeremy Renner's Instagram post of him at the hospital?
Patrick is talking about a completely unrelated thing. All right.
But anyway, but like, it's so basically what they're doing is if you make. So, for instance, as an example, there's a channel called Dead Meat. It's fairly popular. Who makes videos about horror movies? There's a lot of channels that do those. They do videos about horror movies,
like reviews
or recaps or whatever. They can no longer do those, pretty much, because they can no longer use any clips with cursing and violence in them.
Yeah, which is every
horror movie. So what are you supposed to do now?
And like Moist Critical was the one who's like really been like on top of the story. He was like the first one to make a video about it. But yeah, if you've ever seen a Moist Critical video, it's literally just him like swearing nonsense words for 10 minutes and then like talking about something dumb that happened on the internet. And he released a video that was a trailer for the next issue of the comic book that he makes.
Yeah.
And in that trailer, like there's a like a big cartoon guy who like punches dudes and their like heads explode, and he got demonetized for that.
What I don't get is like why?
And to be fair, it's not like real life. It's like a cartoon of a dude. Like it's not a real guy.
But my question is like why now? YouTube is coming up on its believe it or not like 18th anniversary. We're 2 years away from YouTube being 20 years old. So just let that sit in for a second. But age restriction has been around for years. They've
almost since YouTube's creation.
Yeah, there's really not like there's not a whole. You have to dig a lot to find like really bad stuff on YouTube now. Most people on YouTube are making like really high quality.
If you know the right things to search.
That's what I'm saying. And
you gotta really
what is
dig
your
for
YouTube
it.
search
What are you doing?
look like?
I'm just saying. Not that I would know.
But if you look on YouTube now, because of the way social media video has changed over the past couple of years, most of the stuff on YouTube that you'll find is like really high quality, like long form content.
Yeah, like video essays, that kind of stuff.
Video essays, like mini documentaries, long form movie reviews.
Gaming and tech reviews.
You'll get a lot of that stuff. And most of
the average YouTube video is like 15 to 20 minutes. That's what you can expect.
Yeah, I mean, and the stuff has gotten, I think it generally has gotten longer over the years.
Well,
a lot of because YouTube completely eliminated any incentive to make like 2 to 3 minute videos that are like sketches.
A couple of recent changes to their algorithm. This stuff they also announced like a month or so ago. But the algorithm is once again changed. It went so originally it was like likes and views. The more likes and views you got, the more recommended you got.
And we say originally this is like 2011.
Like when it first like became widely known that there was an algorithm.
Yeah.
It wanted likes and views, and it wanted lots of those. So short videos blew up a ton
because they watch them, watch like them, and you move on.
Yeah, and then next it was watch time, just so the amount of time people watched your videos, and that's when podcast and gaming content started blowing up.
Well, that's when it incentivized the many joked about 10 to 15 minute YouTube video requirement that everyone had to hit for a while.
No, that's when like hour-long gaming content became popular. You know, someone would play Minecraft for like 2 hours, and that's a video.
If someone watched an hour of it, that's a lot of watch time. YouTube real happy about that.
Then it changed to watch percentage with the minimum amount of time. The reason why all the videos were 10 minutes is because in order to add mid-rolls, you had to be 10 minutes long. But then they changed to watch percentage. That's when like the 10, 15-minute meta started. Because you want people to watch as much of the video as you can get them to watch.
Which is kind of a better way to do it if you're going to go off watch time, because if someone watches, if you're Gus Johnson, and all you make is essentially like 40-second sketches, someone's going to have to watch 700 of those
in order to equal the watch time of like one PewDiePie
time
video.
Of like one guy who like played Minecraft uncut for like an hour. So because of that change, like the guy who watched that entire hour-long video and the guy who watched that entire Gus Johnson sketch, a little bit more counted equally. So I get that change.
So they've changed it again. We're moving on from the watch percentage. Now it is about viewer satisfaction.
So likes.
Well, how do you gauge viewer satisfaction?
I'm about to tell you. I'm about to give you the inside baseball.
Back in the olden days of YouTube, Sam.
Okay, you're sidetracking us here, and
I know. There was this little feature where there was a thumbs up and a thumbs down.
It's still there
below the video, and that's usually how you judge whether or not people liked it, because people would click the like button or they click the dislike, and if it had a really high dislike number, you would know people didn't like it.
Most viewers do not engage with those buttons.
Yeah, most viewers don't use those. That's why they don't really factor that into that.
But now you can't even see. Remember when they got
you can still use it though.
Anyway, they got rid of the dislike button.
What I was saying is that they have recently changed it to viewer satisfaction. So here is the basis, and we don't know very much about this because this just happened. But the basis of what we understand is if you watch a video and then in the recommended page, there's another video from that creator, and they click on that, that's a hit. They're going to blast you full of a ton of those videos. So if you watch multiple videos from a single creator consecutively, that's the big boost. That's how you really get going.
So they're now more incentivizing, instead of you putting out a certain type of video, they just want you to put out a lot of videos.
No, they want you to put out videos that encourage people to watch more of your videos. So higher quality content.
Dang, Let's Plays would have blown up right now. Let's Plays were still cool.
Yeah.
Remember Let's Plays?
They still kind of exist a little bit.
Someone's watching them.
PewDiePie makes one every once in a while.
Is Stampy Longnose still around?
No.
That's sad.
May we
He made a lot of money while he was popular.
And he lost a lot of money when he wasn't.
Poor guy.
All right, but yeah, that's the basis of... So YouTube's cracking down on swearing and gore of any kind.
So that said, click on the other part.
And they've also shifted the algorithm to viewer satisfaction.
That's a really weird way to judge that.
Which is a weird metric that is very hard to define.
You know what this is going to turn into? Is people are going to now make what is like a 30-minute video, but they're just going to split it into like 4 parts.
Yeah, we're gonna have Mission Impossible.
Where everyone will just split all their videos into a million different parts, just so people keep clicking on the next one.
Yeah,
and just so that they can have satisfied viewers. That's a really weird way to judge satisfied.
Again, that's just one part of it. There's more to it. That's just the one piece that we kind of know for sure.
Why does this keep changing?
Because the algorithm is a learning model. Its goal is to keep people on YouTube for as long as possible.
Yeah,
the YouTube engineers kind of just let it do its own thing, kind of its own animal. So even the people at YouTube at this point, because of how long it's been going, don't fully understand what all the qualitative, metrics are for making a video pop off.
My other question is, you know how they're really pushing shorts right now, right?
Yeah, they are cranking.
They want everyone to be doing shorts. Shorts is the opposite of incentivizing that. The incentive of shorts is you look at a thing for 30 seconds and then you move on to the next thing, and it's by a completely different person.
Yeah, but that's why the shorts algorithm is separate from the regular algorithm.
But aren't they connected?
Hang on.
They're different.
Where
Well,
that
they're sort
comes
of
in,
intertwined, but they're not like shorts are the way that you interact with them, like the metrics that matter are different.
yeah, so again, if you watch a short and then that short takes you to that channel's page and you watch a video, that's how we know that this is a thing.
I'm just
is
looking
because of shorts.
I'm looking forward to the day when the YouTube algorithm just becomes the TikTok algorithm. And
Well, it might be
slowly
made illegal
happen.
because of a lawsuit, but we can talk about that another
Hey,
time.
you know what? I bet you YouTube and Google would help out big time if that got
Because
they just be like, hey, YouTube Shorts is still around, guys.
this is another there's a lot of YouTube news that's happened in the last month.
They keep threatening to ban TikTok, and they're never
that's not
ban
what I'm talking about. Let me finish what I'm saying before you talk about what you think I'm saying.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, there was a recent lawsuit filed about section, I believe it's 230 or 203,
It's
something
always
like that.
one of the twos.
You know the one where it's like they're not a
230
publisher, so they can't.
Oh yeah,
They can't,
The thing YouTube gets
censor
censored
stuff.
every other week.
So the lawsuit, this one's a little bit different. The argument this time is that the algorithm is functioning as a publisher.
Because
And
it's
so
incentivizing different stuff.
Because YouTube has an algorithm at all, that puts it in violation of it being a platform. So, and that would apply to every other algorithm-driven social media app. Is that algorithm,
Which means it's not going to
is functioning as a purveyor of content. It's pushing out some and suppressing others. So it's functioning as a publisher.
Well, I feel like the loophole there, though, is it's not suppressing the same stuff for everyone. Like it's entirely like independent based on the person using it.
But
so it's not really like suppressing certain videos. It's just pushing ones up for certain people and pushing some down.
But certain genres of content do worse than others, which would be
yeah. But there's also an
counter
argument
to
that there's
that.
just like less of an audience for them.
Not if it used to be really big. If it used to be really big and then the algorithm changed and then it got really small, like animation on YouTube is a big one.
Well, animation
that used to be huge. Then the algorithm changed. Now it's not.
But also, like, some things just stop being popular. So how do you gauge which ones was the algorithm fault and which one was just
And yeah, again, this is all stuff that would have to be parsed out in court.
People stopped watching bottle flipping compilations in 2016.
Yeah, but
you gotta sue them because the
that's
algorithm did that, or because people stopped caring. So like, how do you differentiate between?
But that's
those?
not a genre of video. That's a trend. Animation,
okay, but
has trends, but it's a medium.
What was essentially an entire genre of its own was like Minecraft videos. No one watches Minecraft videos anymore.
If you go to the trending page of YouTube, it's still
I watch
a lot of it's still
Minecraft videos. No, I'm joking.
Not as
I
much,
don't.
right? Not as much as like the peak of like 2014. Right?
Not as much as the peak.
Everyone was, because that's what the algorithm wanted, was like that 10, 15, 20 minute Minecraft Let's Play, right? Well, that's not popular anymore at all. So like, is that the algorithm, or did the kids just grow up and stop watching Minecraft videos?
And again, this is all stuff that would have to be, that would require a more in-depth
hard to
study.
prove, like legally. And also, every social media platform has some sort of algorithm.
Yeah,
except for
TikTok,
probably,
Instagram,
like even Snapchat,
Twitter
has one for the
that
dumb
stupid like news
stories.
page.
Why does that exist? Does anyone use those?
And the TikTok knockoff that's inside of Snapchat,
which is just there, and I've never seen anyone.
I've never used it ever. I've only ever opened it by accident.
That isn't what my friends send me.
Why does Snapchat try to like make it something other than just like another texting app?
Because
why do they keep trying to be like an actual like website?
Because Instagram took all of its unique features.
Mm-hmm.
So why would anyone go to Snapchat? So they had to create new unique features. But except for they didn't. They just started stealing ones from other platforms.
People go to Instagram to like look at things, right?
Not anymore.
They go, but some people do. Like
most of Instagram.
That was the appeal of Instagram. Was there's an explore page on Instagram and you like scroll around and look at random photos.
But when was the last time? Pull out your phone. We're gonna do a little experiment here. Pull out your phone. Go to any post under the explore page, and then swipe up. The next one's a video, guaranteed.
Nope.
That's
I got an ad for DiGiorno.
Keep going.
Okay, look,
almost always it's a video. The next page.
Algorithm on Instagram is so bad.
Nope. Going forever.
Like I spend maybe 2
well,
seconds
yours is like
on
mostly
the
football, but like,
page.
okay, that's a video. That's a video.
The
That's
only
that's on
thing
the
I use the
homepage itself,
Instagram
I'm talking about.
Explore
Okay,
page
see,
for
there's
is
this,
search stuff, like
and then
search
a
for
video. There's
I know.
this, and then a video. Here's a random post, and and then a video. Here's a post. Next one's a video. Every time. Almost every time. Because Instagram is now Snapchat with TikTok built in. That's what Instagram is now. Because Instagram lost its identity years ago when Facebook.
But Instagram and Snapchat had two different goals.
They used to. They don't anymore. Now, Instagram is a crappy messaging app.
I do see
with a story
people,
feature built in.
Why do people DM? I don't get it. I just don't understand.
Oh, guys,
now,
have you seen the new thing in Instagram, the leave note feature in the messaging part?
Yes, I have, but we're not talking about that right now. So what Instagram did is it just took TikTok, put that into its Explore page, got rid of its old Explore page. It's gone. It's just TikTok now. And then...
I mean, but isn't there a separate TikTok page for Instagram?
Well, yes, because they just want to be TikTok.
Well, but there's like, you got your home, right?
Everyone wants to be TikTok.
Don't get me wrong, they will get rid of that Explore page.
It's just...
And guys, have you seen the thing,
but those are the same
TikTok
page. They just have different
I love
icons.
the shop page that no one's ever
No
used.
one. They're actually getting rid of that, which further
They
proves my
should've.
point. They're slowly
Okay, but
whittling
no one
themselves
ever
down.
bought anything off Instagram. That was just a bad idea.
But my point is they're
Have you guys
whittling
seen
themselves down.
TikTok's clone of Be
They're all
Real?
becoming the same.
They're all
one
just
platform.
becoming TikTok. Because let's be honest, TikTok is the future of like every medium.
Now, where TikTok is behind
What?
is in messages. Have you ever tried to use TikTok DMs?
Oh, it's so
No.
bad.
Yeah, because they're horrible.
bad.
Well, okay,
They're awful.
but they'll fix that eventually.
But Instagram's DMs is just Facebook Messenger, which is a popular messaging app. Whether or
No,
not
it's
you think
great.
it's
Look
a
at that,
good
Facebook,
app,
you did something right.
their messages are far and away superior to TikTok's. And then they also have the
Guys.
story feature from Snapchat.
Yeah.
Gang, have you seen the TikTok Nows, which are just Be Reals but worse?
Oh, I love
Yes,
that.
and then there's Be Real, which is
Nobody
like Be Real is the only social media app that is actually just doing its own thing.
But now everyone else is ripping them off.
Well, it's just TikTok right now. But the problem with Be Real, how is it funded? No ads.
Foreign caliphate.
There's no ads, and it's free.
Definitely a foreign caliphate.
So it doesn't have. There's no algorithm.
well, eventually they'll
There's
put
no way
ads
for it
on
to study you because
Eventually.
there's no content recommendation feed. So
I
it's
don't
not
think it is.
watching
I
what
think
you
it
do.
literally
No,
is
I mean,
So
they
how does it
are.
make money?
See what your friends are doing.
But your friends only upload once
know
a day.
what?
There's no creators
That's it. You know,
on Be
Yeah,
Real.
You know what
that's
happens,
the
though?
point. That's
What?
the whole point.
three ways Be Real can make money. One, you just put ads on stuff.
But I'm saying right now there's no ads.
But there will eventually
There
be in
probably
some
will
capacity.
eventually, but I'm saying as of right now.
Yeah. Two, you do the dumb Snapchat thing where there's just random Be Reals of random crap that are just there.
There is
So that you can litter them with ads so that you can make some money off the weirdos who click on them.
an explore page on Be Real,
Mhm.
but it's not algorithmically driven.
Discovery.
It's just random
You
posts.
apply the algorithm to that, it'll fix it. Hang on, just hold up. Third one, celebrities on Be Real, but have to pay to look at their Be Reals.
That could
Eh?
so OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, but it's presumably less porn.
So just non-porn OnlyFans. Do you remember what happened when OnlyFans tried to do non-porn OnlyFans?
People stop caring.
Everyone left. No one
but
cared.
imagine
Well, it's like when was it Reddit or who tried to ban pornography?
It was Tumblr, and they recently went back on that.
they went back.
They
on it.
added that back
after Twitter
I
started.
know.
after Twitter took over the
the
homegrown.
elongated muskrat did whatever he's doing to Twitter, Tumblr was like, "Hey guys, it's back now." But
We got porn again. Come back.
We brought the boobs back. We're sorry.
We
but
love our audience.
imagine, Sam, you can pay $5 a month so that every day, whenever Chris Evans posts a picture of him eating a sandwich on Be Real, see it.
What you're
I
describing
don't
is the
think that's
Jeremy Renner
valuable
app.
enough.
Yes, but now there's more than just Jeremy Renner on it.
So the Jeremy Renner and Friends app.
Yes, and that's what they can rebrand as.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
No.
All right.
Okay,
But we've
have
spent
to move
plenty
on.
of time on this.
We could do a whole thing on this, but whatever.
Moving on. The next piece of news we have is Ubisoft is going through a rough patch, you guys. They are having what we in the business like to call a not very good or fun time right now. So
Probably because they suck.
probably because they're just the worst.
And they're the worst people.
So let me
not the worst people who work for Ubisoft. The people in charge of Ubisoft.
let me just there we go. All right, let me get Patrick back up here.
When is this from? Oh, this is from today.
There you go. All right, Patrick's back. Okay, so let's go through this. So this is from IGN.
Thanks, Rebecca Valentine.
We're citing the sources today.
That's who wrote the article.
Okay, well,
There we go.
there he is. He's back. Okay. Ubisoft has announced that it's delaying Skull and Bones for the 6th time.
Which has essentially been a weekly occurrence for the past, 10 years now.
It has canceled 3 other unannounced games.
Which means stuff that was early in the works that they're just now not going to pay for.
That they've decided they're just not doing at all.
And you know what? Here's what they should do. All the just games they just canceled, all the people who are working on those games, to Skull and Bones so that it finally comes out.
That, or Game Pass will just pay you to make a game and put it on there.
You know how Skull and Bones is just the pirate ship stuff?
Mm-hmm.
How is just the pirate ship stuff taking this long?
I don't know. Also, Sea of Thieves exists. And it's like the same.
Yeah. And
So,
there's more stuff.
Clearly, it can be done. I mean, be it this looks significantly more realistic.
What that means is they've restarted development on this 6 different times.
Yeah. But continuing in the article, so
There's people.
who's that?
People just got.
Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, as well as Just Dance 2023, performed bad, not good. They did not like how those performed.
Big suck.
And the company is undergoing a restructuring. In a press release today,
Which means they're firing a bunch of people.
Yes, that's what that really means. Ubisoft outlined a new strategy for the remainder of its fiscal year, as well as lowered expectations for the last fiscal quarter. Ubisoft plans the move as a result of the company facing major challenges as the industry continues to shift towards mega brands and long-lasting titles that can reach players across the globe. So what that means is they don't make any big online games, and that's what the people want. That's what the people really want. That's what they enjoy. They want the big Call of Duties. Yes. All right, let's do the Tucker Answers the Door show. Are you doing the podcast?
Who is it?
It's Max, whose mic is not plugged in, and we don't have any ports for you to plug
Max,
into.
who navigates in and out of
Okay.
the show at will.
He's going around. Oh, here he comes. He's coming. They can only see your hand.
Hey everybody, it's me.
All right.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Max.
There he goes. But back to what I was saying.
Shout out.
Who's that? Anyway, so yeah.
I don't know what that was. All right, keep talking.
So Ubisoft, so they said that they don't have any mega brands and long-lasting titles that reach players across the globe on multiple platforms and business models. What that basically boils down to is they don't have any big multiplayer games. They don't have any big multi-plat Call of Duty or Fortnite.
I mean, they make all. Yeah, I mean, not really, not anymore. Ubisoft doesn't publish a major game.
What do they make? What is their big game anymore?
Tom Clancy games. Damn, they make so many.
So they have Rainbow Six, but no, that's the only one. That's their only big popular shooter game.
games. See what came out in 2022. What did they make? Made Dance,
Which they are not. They don't
Mario
like
plus
that anymore.
Rabbids.
They don't like that anymore either.
Roller Champions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They make Assassin's Creed.
Or at least they sometimes
They made
do.
they made that new Rainbow. I guess Rainbow Six is the closest thing to a big online.
Yeah, that's their biggest game.
But the Rainbow Six community is not nearly as big as. Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's the. I think that's the smallest of the big shooters.
Probably. Especially the one they just made that no one cared about. And just
I would
kept playing Rainbow
say
Six Siege.
in order of popularity, it's probably Fortnite, Call of Duty, all of them, Warzone, whatever.
Still putting Fortnite at number 1, Sam.
You want me to pull up the active user list?
You don't have to
Okay.
yell at me about how Fortnite's the greatest game ever.
It's not. It's just a popular. It's still the most streamed category on Twitch. It has been for the last 6 years.
You.
What was I saying? Yeah, Fortnite, Call of Duty. Probably after that, it's Valorant, then Overwatch.
Where's Rust on there, Sam?
Rust is not on that list. No one plays Rust.
I know
And then
people
it's
that play
and then
Rust.
under there, it's Tom Clancy. That's probably
Just every
That's
Tom
right.
Clancy game.
Rainbow Six, the one that's popular.
Well, because there's also The Division, Ghost Recon.
one plays those.
The other one.
Oh wow, the other one.
Top 10. I'm trying to find online shooters or whatever. We got to move on.
Just pull up Twitch and look at the ones that are being streamed the most. That's basically the answer.
Then I gotta log into my Twitch account.
No, you don't. Just go to the freaking page.
Twitch.com.
All right. Well, you're.
Twitch.tv.
This is this is the same thing.
Browse. What do I go to?
You guys are really
Just
efficient.
do categories.
I never ever use everybody.
It's not difficult.
Where's the categories button?
It's just click to on the page.
I click the browse button.
Sure.
Categories. Escape from Tarkov.
That's a one. That's a more recent one. That one's like
Oh.
just started to pop up.
Overwatch. That's a shooter.
Yeah.
Valorant. Yeah, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex Legends is still a thing apparently.
Yeah. People do play that game.
People still play that. Destiny, someone's still watching Destiny.
Well, they
videos.
recently had a big update.
High on Life.
That's a game.
That's just what people are.
Not really a shooter.
People just
I mean,
play
it is
that.
a shooter, but it's not multiplayer.
playing that right
Or it
now.
is multiplayer, but it's not multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot. Halo
Anyway,
Infinite.
How many of those are
Halo.
Ubisoft?
Someone's still playing Halo.
How many of those are Ubisoft games?
None of them, I don't think.
Exactly. And that brings us to their corporate restructuring. So, shut up, IGN. I'm not paying for your
Nobody
IGN
wants
Plus.
to pay for you,
Shut
IGN.
up.
Shut
People
up.
barely tolerate you, much less pay for you, as we steal their content.
Anyway, there's a little something for everyone on IGN, and that's why we're giving IGN a
9 out of 10. Okay. But anyway, you get the idea. That's what's going on.
Oh, CSGO? They don't own that, but someone's still playing CSGO apparently.
Thank you for that. Very exciting.
I just think that's
announcement.
funny.
But yeah, rip Ubisoft. They will be
Not
forgotten.
missed. Well, they're still around. They're going to be around forever.
They're going to be around.
They just have money.
They got lots
They got
of that.
so much money. And you know what? I'm okay with them being around because they produce or are somewhat involved in Mythic Quest. And when that
That's
show
true.
ends, they can burn to the ground. I don't care.
Oh, wait, they own World of Warcraft, right?
No,
Oh, no, that's Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Yeah, that's Blizzard.
And Blizzard can't. Blizzard's owned by Valve, right?
Owned by Activision.
Or it's owned by. Oh yeah, they just merged with Activision.
No, they merged like a decade ago.
Whatever.
Anyway, you're thinking of the
they'll
Activision Microsoft thing, which just all
the companies are one company.
speaking of, they recently got sued in New York.
What?
They're getting investigated by the
Too
FTC
big?
for anti-competitive behavior.
Oh, you mean the company that's become every company?
Well, so they recently got sued in the UK, and it was ruled that in the UK they were not allowed to merge.
But they
was
just did not in the UK.
And then, well, because the merger hasn't gone through yet, like anywhere.
But it
It's just been
will.
proposed,
It will.
and now it's under investigation by the FTC as well, which is not good.
If it doesn't go through now, they'll just wait for the president to change, and then
And then they'll just pay him.
They'll just let him through. That's how
All
it
right.
works. No, I can't wait for every company to become like two companies, and then that's when they'll be like, "Wait a minute, I
Maybe
think there's
this
some
is bad."
monopolizing going on over here."
Maybe this isn't good.
Like, how big does Disney have to become before we stop them from growing more?
But you can't have a monopoly on intellectual property because you can make money.
I mean, you can on the stuff that already
No, that is a
exists.
stupid thing to say, government. You are stupid. There are other words I could say, but not on YouTube.
Also, you're not buying the ideas, you're buying like the actual physical products.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a film production, you don't have a monopoly on like the idea of making movies. You have a monopoly on all of the movies that have been made.
Yeah, it's
Like the ones actually be like
the fact that the Fox Disney merger went through is proof that the government doesn't
well,
function.
yeah. No, but- well, they let that and let the Discovery merger go through, and
Yeah, that was also
and
stupid.
Warner Brothers is going to merge with Comcast in a few years, and then they're just going to let that go through. Now that will just be straight up unfair.
No, yeah, it's
Because
already
Comcast
unfair.
literally basically owns the internet. So once they own the internet and then all the streaming apps,
Which is funny because AT&T is the one who used to own Warner Bros.
but they decided they didn't want to deal with them anymore, so they just
So
sold
instead,
them
they
off.
sold them to Discovery, who will eventually get bought by Comcast, who's the guy who owns the other half of the internet.
And then AT&T will go buy Disney to compete. And
Well,
then
no, I don't think AT&T
it'll just
could
be
buy Disney.
AT&T and Comcast hitting each other.
And then Apple will buy Nintendo, and
then
everyone will be happy.
Everyone
Anyway,
will be like, oopsie
everyone will
doopsie, we
be
let
sad.
Exxon buy everything.
oops,
Anyway,
oops, the oopsies. We created a fascism.
remember
All
when the oil companies were on top? Dang. the
We
good
need
old
another.
days.
We need another.
Remember when the big monopoly was railroads?
Yeah, because they had a monopoly on transportation.
Because there was like 6, and if you needed to move products, you had to just use the one railroad that's
Yeah,
owned by the
very
one
cool,
guy.
very
And
epic.
he was just like, you have to give me $300 billion to use my railroad. They were like, well, I guess we can't go
I
anywhere
guess
else.
we have to.
Anyway.
Cool. Who's the trust buster one? Was it?
Monopolies are fun.
Who was the president who did all the trust busting? Not Taft. It was
It wasn't
Roosevelt,
Taft.
right? Roosevelt did all the trust
No,
busting
not
stuff.
Roosevelt was in the 20s. It was in
I'm
the
glad someone paid attention. In
I thought it
history.
was. I thought
no,
it
it was in
Roosevelt.
like the late. It was like the mid to late 1800s. Was in the whole railroads thing.
Not railroads. I'm talking about the oil stuff.
Oh, the oil stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was.
Who was the
Welcome to the
Trust.
history show.
trust busting president? Yeah, Theodore Roosevelt. I was right. We need another.
Teddy.
We need another Teddy Roosevelt.
Remember when?
But one who like doesn't hate Native Americans.
Remember when they just made up all those weird legends about him that everyone just sees as fact and they just are patently untrue?
Yeah, he's just freaking a Chad.
like how he did that speech while being shot.
well,
or
he
had-
did.
had
That
gone-
actually, you can just look that up.
he didn't. Not though.
You want me to look it up?
Let's not talk about it right
He
now.
was. He literally got shot.
My conspiracy.
And then at the
theory.
end, he was like, "Now I need to go to the hospital," and they rushed him to the hospital after his speech.
Good old Teddy. Remember when he ran as a member of the Bull Moose Party?
Well, he invented his own party because
Which
he
I
got
think
kicked out.
might be the greatest party name of all time.
Yeah, because it's like, what does that even mean?
All right, Sam. What is WOTC OGL 1.1?
So, Wizards of the Coast.
That sounds like an anime.
is owned by a little lesser known company. You might recognize them, called Hasbro.
Oh, I love Hasbro.
Hasbro, yeah. So
Aren't they owned by CBS, which is another company owned by an internet conglomerate?
Uh-huh. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about Wizards of the Coast and how they are ending the tabletop board gaming fandom effectively.
The very small tabletop board
The
game
$2
audience.
billion industry is the tabletop board gaming industry. So Dungeons and Dragons, which is one of Wizards of the Coast's 2 big properties. The other one being Magic the Gathering, which are very similar in terms of like sort of like genre. Now recently they alienated their Magic fans because they overprinted a bunch of like cards and then charged like I think it was like $300 a pack for like these reprints of cards that you couldn't even use. So they had already alienated a bunch of their fans there. And now recently they are revoking the open gaming license for D&D, which was written to exist in perpetuity, which means ongoing forever. They are revoking that, which is illegal. You just literally can't do that. And replacing it with Open Game License 1.1, which is a revision that allows, should Wizards of the Coast want, to claim any property that uses any of the IP for Dungeons and Dragons, so the monsters, the characters, the mythology, the game rules of Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, but
And if you make more than $750,000, they are allowed to take 25% of your net revenue
sick.
after taxes and all that.
So bye-bye Critical Role.
So yeah, that includes really big. Now, Critical Role has stayed silent on this thus far, and this is a leak. To clarify, this is a leaked version of the open gaming license that we're talking about, but Wizards of the Coast has said a lot of things and has basically tried to defend a lot of these
I
principles,
don't feel like
implying
there's
that it
any
is
way you
pretty
can
much real.
actually get away with this.
So
Okay,
hang on, I'm not done.
Okay.
So if what has allowed D&D to flourish is the massive third-party sphere. People who go on, Kickstarter and kickstart their own campaign books and write their own little rules and backstory and lore and all these little fun things that they want to do. People like Critical Role, D20, these live play shows on Spotify and YouTube that play the game using, D&D's rules.
or made an entire animated series with characters from their D&D campaign.
Yeah, or do something like that. Basically, Wizards of the Coast can now just scoop that up. That's theirs now. And they are allowed to use and sub-license your work as if it is theirs in perpetuity. So they own it.
That's
Yeah, again, I
stupid.
don't see any way
As well as
has any sort of actual legal grounding.
as well as they are able to, they take 25% of whatever your net revenue was, or your net like gains. So even if you lost money on it,
They'll just take.
They
whatever
take-
earned.
they still can take from you. They take 20% of like the gains. So not just what you made.
Now, I feel like if this goes through, I'm pretty sure Patrick just fell asleep.
He's chilling.
No, I'm here.
He's good.
Okay, but that'd be like essentially
I'm
if
gonna
Disney
go
came
though,
out
'cause I'm
tomorrow.
get ready.
You're doing what?
I gotta go though. So I'll talk
We
to you
haven't
guys
talked
later.
about movies yet.
That's okay.
We're gonna talk
Gotta go
about
to
Ant-Man,
bed. He's gotta
Patrick.
get his 9 hours. of
Okay,
sleep.
bye bye.
Bye, Patrick.
But now that'd be essentially like if Disney came out tomorrow and was like, "Hey, any little kids that play pretend Star Wars and say that they're Darth Bagunkus and they pretend to lightsaber fight their friend, we can just say that Darth Bagunkus is our character and use him, and we get all the money from him."
Yeah, no, literally they can do that. That is what they've
Which
done.
is why I don't think this will go through. But pro tip.
No, it's not. It's
Here's how you get around it. For all of you, okay, this is like code red. This is emergency scenario.
I'll get into that in a minute.
All of your stuff. Here's what you do: change all the characters' names to stuff that's really dumb and really vulgar, so that they can't ever actually use any of it. Just change it to like this character's name is like Diarrhea Boy, and they'll never ever buy it because why would
Just
you
name
want
all
that?
your characters like racial slurs.
Yeah, and then if they buy it, then they get in trouble for having a bunch of characters that are
But
named
so-
after racial slurs.
So, when we get to people getting around it, almost every major producer of third-party D&D content, because there are some bigger ones. Like, have you ever heard of the game Pathfinder?
I think so.
So people like that who make those kind of products, which is a spin-off of D&D, like it uses all their rules and stuff, have already begun to make their, this isn't D&D. No. This is Wizards and Waverns. No. This is Warriors and Caves. This isn't Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, here's the
they've
other thing.
already started to make their own tabletop role-playing games that it just so happens to use a D20. What any old game could use one of
Well,
those.
here's the other thing. It's like, what does Dungeons and Dragons own, and what do they not?
and
Like,
that's-
if you create a fantasy story with a goblin in it, they didn't create.
yeah, they didn't
goblins.
invent goblins. They didn't invent ghouls
So,
and
to
skeletons.
what extent does that go under?
And that's part
Like,
of.
I guess there's an argument if you like use a spell that's only in D&D, they'll probably be able to reclaim that.
But like,
But if you put skeletons or a dragon in something, they
but
didn't
like
make those.
Fireball is
Yeah.
a spell in D&D.
But those existed before
Yeah.
D&D.
Like create bonfire is a spell. Like there's stuff in D&D that is just kind of like universal principles of fantasy.
D&D is essentially, and it always has been, just a conglomerate of like every single
of generic
fantasy.
fantasy ideas.
So, but all of those ideas existed before.
What
So
D&D
what are they going to be able to claim as theirs, and what are they going to be able to claim as not theirs?
What D&D has been for basically since 5e, because it wasn't always like this, but more recent iterations
That
of
is a
D&D.
term I definitely know.
5th edition. That's the version that you've played.
Okay.
What D&D has been for the 5th edition is, I believe, 8 years old now. So what D&D has been for the last decade is essentially a fantasy novel generator.
Yeah.
Now, you might argue that it's not a very good one, or that it's not, if you're not a fan of D&D, whatever. But that's essentially what the game is. It's a fantasy novel generator that you do with your friends. So it's really hard to argue that you're owning elves, or you own dwarves and, goblins or whatever.
Because you just don't.
Because, in all honesty, like, Tolkien owns all that. He's made up like half
Well,
that
even
stuff.
before that,
Like, yeah.
somebody in like 532 AD
Was like, what if dude had
what
pointy
if
ears?
the skeleton left behind by my dead grandma
Came
to life and
alive?
tried to stab me? Like, what? I guess that guy owns the IP.
What if there's a little green guy who lives under the bridge and asks you
Who
for
stole
money?
my wallet? And then the other guy was like, "Oh, it was the green man."
It was the goblin boy.
The other guy went, "That tracks."
Okay. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this actually plays out. And what I think is going to happen what I'm like 90% sure will eventually be the result of this, Wizards of the Coast just won't release that.
No.
They'll just decide, never mind. That we didn't do that.
Well,
Old
also,
one.
they don't want the legal challenging. Because what will end up happening is if they do...
Well, they're just hoping no one has
Well-
the money to legally challenge them.
But they'll get... But if... Okay, say they do it, and they try to go after Critical Role for their stuff,
Yeah.
right? Their television show is made by Amazon.
Well, here's the thing.
So if they come in and go, hey, Amazon, we want 20% of however the profit participation works on your animated series, Amazon's probably going to go, hold up a sec. How about no?
Now, okay, the show changed a bunch of stuff. They removed all of the D&D IP. That's why it's called The Legend of Vox Machina.
But all the characters came from their...
No, they were created by the people who are playing the game. They're not from D&D.
But then that'll go, again, back to the extent of what does D&D technically own and
Exactly,
what do they not?
but Critical Role also has a deal with Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
They already have a pre-existing agreement. They've published books with D&D and Critical Role like as a collab. Like they already have a deal. It's everyone else. It's the people who publish third-party campaign books. It's the people who publish third-party DMs guides. It's mainly publishers who are going to be worried about this.
But somebody will sue. But they'll just keep getting sued and sued and sued, and they'll just have to constantly fight over what is owned. And
Well,
what
the thing
isn't.
is they will so easily lose because the previous version of the Open Gaming License exists in perpetuity, meaning it is ongoing. Anyone who has published any work using D&D property before this new one goes under effect technically has a deal under the first Open Gaming License, which exists in perpetuity. It's the same as so let's say you bought Premiere Pro before it was like a subscription. Let's say you bought a perpetual license.
Yeah,
So
like
that
when
means you
was
own it
just like a
forever.
thing
It's
you
like
bought.
$300, but you own it forever, right? That would be like them going, actually, that perpetual license, that's only for 5 years.
And you know owe us all the money.
And now
from
you have
after
to
that.
pay us for a subscription, which, by the way, you know Filmora, the editing software?
Yep.
They just did that. Just recently. The same exact thing.
That's why I use Final Cut.
They
Kids.
charged a $200 like whatever thing for perpetual license. And then they were like, "Oh, that's only for the 11. That's only for Filmora 11.
Yeah.
But in order to get Filmora 12,
and we're
you
gonna
have to pay
forcibly
us.
up to you to.
Oh,
Filmora
and
12.
you can't use it anymore unless you update." Yeah, so it's that sort of thing. But
So
it'll be interesting to see where this
So
goes.
the theme for today's episode is big corporation.
They don't like you, actually.
They don't like you for real.
Moving on to Big
shot.
Corporation.
I think the next thing on here is the Ant-Man trailer, but I feel like we should just save that, get to it on this, just so that we're not like repeating ourselves.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
But let's
So
real quick,
Golden Globes then?
let's talk about Hollywood's second biggest embarrassment. That's the Golden Globes. I have all the
Golden
winners right here.
Globes
So-
winners.
So I didn't watch the whole show because it's 3 hours. It was more than 3 hours again,
Hollywood Reporter.
which I don't care. So I'm not gonna watch 3 hours. 2 of those are just ads and 30
Just
minutes of
want the
that.
list. Here we go.
Okay, so
All right.
let's start at the bottom because that's like and we'll work our way to.
Okay.
So
Yeah, they can't read this on camera, so this is just so we.
but the point is, so the show was actually like, all right, I guess. There was less like dumb nonsense, I would say, from what I could tell. But
Good. Less dumb nonsense.
if you don't know what happened to the Golden Globes, so they didn't broadcast last year because the year before they got in a whole heap of trouble because it turned out that no one on the Hollywood Foreign Press Association who the event they were all white. All of them were white.
Uh-oh.
They were all white, so they got in trouble for that.
Can't do that.
And they'd also been definitely not getting paid by major studios
No.
to go on nice vacations.
They
and
would never.
They just happened to have movies in consideration at the Golden Globes. So they got in trouble for a whole bunch of stuff. They supposedly over the past year have been like completely from the ground up rebuilding the organization.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
sure.
So they came back this year. Instead of on a Sunday night, they broadcast on a Tuesday night because the Critics' Choice Awards took their old
Okay.
slot. Now they're in a worse time slot.
What the heck is the Critics' Choice?
And the guy that got to host it is a guy named Gerard Carmichael, who I didn't hear of before this.
Oh yeah, Gerard Carmichael, famous person.
Apparently he's like a stand-up guy. He did pretty good from what I saw of him, but he basically spent his entire opening monologue just talking about how he didn't want to do the show
That seems like a good
and
way to start.
how they are bad. So it was kind of a weird night in that they were constantly criticizing themselves, but at the same time they were doing like the same old crap.
The only way to save yourself in like modern Hollywood from criticism is to like constantly tell everyone else about how bad you are and how sorry you are for how bad you've been.
Yeah.
So that's like their go-to strat for like trying to look
The
like,
other problem
altruistic.
is because they became so controversial, a bunch of people who are nominated for stuff and even people who won stuff didn't show up to the ceremony. So, spoilers for this list we're about to read that you can already just find online. Zendaya, Cate Blanchett, and Tom Cruise, like all three of them, I don't think Tom Cruise did, but I know Cate Blanchett and Zendaya won awards, and they just weren't there. So, they had a bunch of missing people. Just was a really weird event. But we'll start. Obviously, the Golden Globes is weird because they do movies and TV, and they also split the categories up into really
it's a long one.
dumb ways. But we'll just kind of speed through these.
All right, let's go.
So, best
right.
performance by an actor in a supporting role in a musical or comedy or drama television series.
You know, those three things that are very similar.
Very similar. Tyler James Williams won for Abbott Elementary.
Okay.
So the big general themes for the night was that the big movie that they liked, not the big movie, the big comedy show they loved, Abbott Elementary. That's the big they loved it.
Everyone saw that one.
The drama stuff was a little bit more split up, and then the movie stuff was all over the place.
All right, let's go. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a musical comedy drama was Julia Garner for Ozark. Sure, why not?
Because Ozark was on its final season. That category had 2 people from Abbott Elementary.
Yes. Best performance by an actor in supporting role in a limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television.
Paul Walter Hauser won for Blackbird. This is the show about Taron Egerton goes to jail.
Oh, Dahmer didn't win? What a shame.
I know. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television. Jennifer Coolidge won for The White Lotus.
Is she related to the president?
Which tracked. She got like 10 total minutes of time she was... The other big theme of the night was that anytime anyone was on stage, after like 45 seconds, they started playing them off.
Nice.
And like 6 separate times, the actors giving the speech would yell at the people in the room playing the music to stop trying to play them off. Michelle Yeoh, in her acceptance speech, threatened to beat up the piano guy.
If you play me off. All right.
But apparently Jennifer Coolidge has a lot of fans over there because she presented an award where she talked for 5 minutes and then accepted an award where she talked for another 5 minutes.
Awesome. Good. She needed the time. She really stood out.
Best performance by an actor in a limited series. Evan Peters won for my favorite television
Dahmer.
title.
Woo.
Dahmer - Monster: the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Yeah. Best performance by an actress in a limited anthology or motion picture made for television was Amanda Seyfried for the Dropout.
She was another one who won but did not show up to the actual event.
And then best television limited
series.
series, anthology series, or motion picture was The White Lotus.
The winner was The White Lotus. However, The White Lotus had a second season.
Which season was it?
The second one, which would not make it a limited series. But technically, every season is like a new story. So I guess they qualify
it's an anthology.
Series. But also, that's 3 different things in one category.
It's okay, don't worry about it.
I mean, it beat out Pam and Tommy, The Dropout, Dahmer, and Blackbird.
Sure, yeah, I haven't seen any of those, so yes, I agree.
Best performance by an actor in a comedy series. Jeremy Allen White won for The Bear. He beat out Bill Hader for Barry, Donald Glover for Atlanta, and then Steve Martin Short for
The Martins.
Which is he's becoming a quick rising young star, Sam.
All right, yeah, I don't even know who that is. So
he was
sure.
I know Max watched There.
Didn't
wish he was here though. It's a show about. Apparently, it's very good.
Cooking
It's
meth
on my
or
list.
just regular cooking?
Cooking sandwiches.
Oh, so not meth.
Not meth, Sam. Not every show is about cooking meth. I know
Well,
you've been
you
watching a lot
know,
of Breaking Bad.
I actually haven't since we don't have Netflix right now.
Best performance by an actress in a television series, musical or comedy. Quinta Brunson won for Abbott Elementary. That was like the biggest one of the night. Was she won for her main role on that show?
Yay! She's like the new like Leslie Knope person. Like she's like all over all.
I
the
mean,
things.
she she stars and created it and writes that show.
Like she but like now she also does like deals for like she's in like makeup ads and stuff. Like all of a sudden,
everywhere now. Well,
like
good for
at
her,
a
man.
like over the course of like a week, she suddenly was like everywhere.
I don't mean to mean that show. It's a really good show.
Oh,
so
wasn't she
good
also in
for
the
her.
New Year's Eve thing?
I think she was. I know
Yeah.
she was also in.
She was like a foot shorter than everyone
She
else.
was in
there.
Weird. She had a cameo. But
Weird. What's that?
that Weird Al movie.
Oh, okay.
Everyone
anyway,
was upset because Jenna Ortega did not win for.
oh, all the millennials got
But they're
upset. Or all
getting a
the
second
Gen
season.
Zs got
They're
upset.
getting a. They'll give her an award.
She'll win eventually.
Also, is that a con? I guess it's a con.
Because-
Best
it's more of a
comedy
drama.
series. Abbott Elementary won. Beat out The Bear, Hacks, Only Murders on Wednesday. I would say it's probably
Yeah.
better than at least
Okay,
3 of those.
sure.
Best performance by an actor in a drama series. Here was the big dumb one. Kevin Costner won for Yellowstone. Now, Sam, there was another man nominated in that category. His name is Bob Odenkirk for a TV series
Yeah.
called Better Call Saul, which had
One
its
of the most critically
final
acclaimed series of
season-
all
one of-
time.
well, technically not. It has been nominated between the Emmys and the Golden Globes around 50 times now. You know how many awards it's won?
Like 2?
0.
Oh, that's good.
It's never won anything a single time. And they gave Kevin Costner
He really needed some more awards.
an award for Yellowstone, which I get is like a lot of people watch, but also he's just Kevin Costner in that show.
Yeah,
Bob Odenkirk is doing a million different things at once
yeah.
for a guy who was known for Mr. Show for a really long time. So why they did, I guess they just hate Better Call Saul for no reason.
I guess.
But
yeah, I don't know.
They gave Breaking Bad like every award.
Maybe
which
it's
is
'cause
why
they-
it makes less sense.
Maybe it's because they just like don't want to give it all the awards
But
because of
that
Breaking
was
Bad.
7 years. Breaking Bad ended like 7 years ago.
Okay, but think about what shows they've seen in that time. Like
They-
probably just Yellowstone.
They give The Crown every time there's a new season of The Crown. They like it blows
They
their
only
minds.
watch The Crown. They only watch The Crown, Yellowstone, and they used to watch Breaking Bad.
You know why? You know them.
They're all old.
They're all really old.
They're all old
which
people.
you can tell by the other categories.
Which is why Wednesday will not win any awards.
Also, by Yellowstone one because
Best performance by an actress in a television series.
drama.
Is that different than all the other things? Which is Zendaya.
Again, she did not show up. So she beat
yeah.
a bunch of random.
She beat
people.
House of the Dragon, which was the only one that was like
Good
close.
for Zendaya, man.
And then best television series drama was House of the Dragon, which
Well, I think you skipped a couple.
no,
Did you not?
I did not.
Okay.
Right here. Which
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah.
House of the Dragon, which is
was kind of a shocker.
crazy because again, Better Call Saul
Final
also
season.
nominated.
Your last chance to not what was celebrated as a perfect ending to that show did not win in favor of the first season
And
of
now
a Game of Thrones prequel.
I haven't seen Better Call Saul, but House of the Dragon is very good. I will say it's as good as like the first few seasons of the original Game of Thrones. So like it's nothing to scoff at. And again, I haven't seen Better Call Saul, but I'm surprised that it beat Better Call
Yeah.
Saul.
Well, it's apparently not because they just hate it.
But again, what shows do these people watch?
Well, I don't.
Game-
That's weird.
Who was the only person in our family who originally watched Game of Thrones?
My
There's
dad
only
watched
one.
Game of Thrones.
No, but he watched it later. He watched it only because I watched it.
Who?
Wasn't me.
Our uncle,
Nope, think older.
grandpa,
You're close.
or great grandpa?
Granny.
Oh, our grandma.
Granny was the only one who watched Game of Thrones.
Kinda cool.
Like weekly.
Kinda funny.
And she was old. So my point being,
no,
it's another show
it's
old
just
people watch.
weird because the House of the Dragon is guaranteed to run for like 5 seasons,
4.
and they gave it still. That's 4 guaranteed years. It's going to be up for this award, and they gave
Yeah.
it to it immediately, which is insane.
Hey, they got the faith.
Best original song, Natu Natu won for RRR. They also
sure.
tried to play this guy off because he was not from America and did not speak very good English. So they were like, get the guy who's not white off stage, get him off quick.
That's a good look for them.
That's where they want to be at.
That's where they want. That's the kind of image they want to put out right now.
3 of the 5 best original songs were songs that just played over the credits. But hey, good for him, man. We're good for for people who made that song, they beat out Rihanna,
And
Lady Gaga, and Taylor Swift. So
and Xiao Papa, which was
from
very
Pinocchio.
popular. Best original score.
Justin Hurwitz won for Babylon because I guess they had to give it something.
Because all right, cool.
But a lot of the big time awards movies just kind of like flamed out immediately, which is why there's not really a clear front runner this year. Best screenplay for a motion picture. The Banshees of Inisherin won. That was the favored, and it's also probably the best screenplay out of all of them.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg wasn't going to win. Women Talking, they didn't watch.
No, it had too many women in it.
Yeah, they don't watch things.
Everything Everywhere All at Once went right over their heads.
Yeah, they didn't understand.
There was too much going on. And then Tar, they fell asleep during Tar.
Yeah.
So they only made it to the Banshees.
Best director for a motion picture.
Steven Spielberg won.
For the Fabelmans.
For the Fabelmans. He beat out Martin McDonough, Baz Luhrmann, Daniel Kwan, and Daniel Scheinert, also known as Daniels, and then James Cameron. The only real competition he had was James Cameron. It wasn't going to be Baz Luhrmann or Martin McDonough.
Yeah, okay, now let me speak for a moment, a bit out of character, in defense of the directing for Avatar. It is very hard to get expressions through the CGI masks that every character has to wear. And it's several different points. This is something I actually did notice that I don't think I mentioned when we reviewed it. It's several different points in the movie. Actors are communicating and like acting just through facial expressions. Like, I don't know if you remember, there's the part where like main character and his family show up on the beach of Water Tribe,
Jake
right?
Sully.
Yeah. And he's like, please let me and my family stay. We's very homeless and we need to not be dead.
Oh, are you talking about the really sexist scene where and it's not really that sexist, but when they all show up and like both of their wives immediately start giving each other mean
and then they
looks.
start arguing, right? And then
the two dudes look at each other like
there's the
these darn
scene
women.
there's the scene where the Water Tribe chief looks at the queen, and like there's an exchange between them where they don't say anything. They just look back and forth at each other a couple times, and through the emotions on their face, the wife kind of understands, all right, well, we kind of have to do this, and she like goes off. But there's no dialogue in that scene. I think that is very impressive, that they're able to get that level of emotional expressiveness through those characters. And I think that does speak in part to James Cameron's direction.
However, Sam, even Spielberg made a movie about movies.
And they like those.
They love those.
Especially when the movie about movies is about the guy who made
We'll get to who won Best
movies.
Picture later, but Steve, I was fine with Spielberg winning. It's been 20 years since he last won a Golden Globe. And
I don't think we reviewed it, but The Fabelmans was very good.
It was good. I liked it. But
Scene I can't get
he
in.
gave a really good speech too. He talked about how he used to be a PA, and he talked about how like it took him forever to like work up the courage to make the movie.
Go.
So it was a nice speech. But you know who had a better speech, Sam? That was the guy who won Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role, and that was Ke Kwan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. He was the first one to win an award, and he gave the best speech of the night. And if you just turn the awards off right there, really didn't miss a whole lot. But yeah, he deserves to win this award by far.
Yeah,
he's great in that movie.
He's really good,
especially since a guy who really didn't do a whole lot of acting for like 30 years.
And he's kind of like the heart of that movie.
Yeah, he's the heart in a lot of ways. I think this pretty much cemented that he's going to win Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was such a good movie.
He was great.
Everyone needs to see that movie.
But Sam, you know what people talked about even more? It was the best performance by an actress in a supporting role because it was Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And that was a Marvel film, Sam. That was a Marvel movie.
Has that word on it that everyone
knows.
What
that is.
The word right there. You can't see it, but it says Marvel where I'm pointing.
Sam, I've seen Marvel movies before.
I know that word. I know Iron Man. I know him.
She really won this because there's not a clear frontrunner for this award either this year.
What do you mean?
For Best Supporting Actress, there's not like one where everyone just says it's going to be them.
It should have been Jamie Lee Curtis. No, actually, it should not have been. She did nothing.
It should have been Stephanie Sue.
It should.
She was not nominated.
But she wasn't nominated for some
Carrie,
reason.
I probably would have, if it was me and it was these five. I've only seen 3 of these movies, but I probably would have given it to Carrie Condon for Banshees of Inisherin. She's really good in that movie.
I give it to Dolly DeLeon.
Angela Bassett
that has the funniest name.
Is good in Black Panther, but I feel like it's one of those awards where they gave it to her just because she did a lot of yelling, and for some reason, there's this perception that good acting
Yelling equals
is
good
just
acting.
yelling a lot.
I am the queen of the most powerful nation in the
I'm
world.
not dissing her. She did good.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a bad performance. I'm
good-
just saying that's a
good
trend
for
that's
her,
in
you
Hollywood.
know.
That's a thing.
I was really Marvel needed a win, Sam.
It's been a while since Marvel had a win.
Sam, they just they're just a small company making indie films. And
They're
they
just
need a
trying
lot
to.
of
They're
help.
just out here trying to make it. In
That's
America.
right.
They're just a little guy out here trying to
now
make
with this one day, maybe one day,
it. Maybe
they'll make
one
it.
day they'll make it.
Best non-English language picture.
They didn't see any of
This
these.
was a big thing. It was Argentina 1985, which beat All Quiet on the Western Front,
Which I
Decision to
heard
Leave,
about.
and RRR, which was all
I think
three of
RRR
those
probably should
were
have won.
considered to be more clear winners than Argentina.
Because
1985 was.
RRR was like hugely.
This was
popular.
another thing where the guys came up on stage and they didn't speak very good English, and so they just played them off immediately.
Cool. Thank you, Golden
Because
Globe
they
guys.
were not white, and that cannot be acceptable at the Golden Globes. Best animated picture, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio won, which pretty much cemented it as the movie that's going to win
Yeah.
best animated feature.
I mean, I haven't
I
seen it
love
yet,
you-
but from what I've seen, I think it. I mean, the animation alone is freaking
I love you,
awesome.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. But yeah, it's gonna be Pinocchio, and Guillermo del Toro gave a nice little thing where he was like, animation is not like just a
It's not just for babies.
genre for
guys.
babies. It's like
Not just for babies.
It's an actual medium where you can make a good movie.
Watch like any anime.
All right, now here's the big ones: best performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. So they split them, but the motion picture stuff into musical and comedy because those go together, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and then drama. And if it's not a musical or a comedy, it just gets thrown in the drama category. And what is the difference between a comedy?
Yeah,
and
those are
drama?
all the same.
They don't know because Banshees of Inisherin is apparently a comedy.
Oh, it's
even though
hilarious. It's a super funny.
It's
show.
I mean, it is funny, but it's a dark comedy, and it's mostly like a really sad drama. But it's a comedy, apparently.
It's a comedy
But-
in the same way that like Romeo and Juliet is a comedy, where like they
'Cause
make
there's
they
one-
make two jokes and everyone
Did you see
is
Banshees
dead.
of Inisherin?
No.
Okay, you should. It's really good. But
Yeah.
Colin Farrell won for that movie, which he deserves to. He's amazing in it.
Oh, the menu was not.
And he also gave a nice speech.
Oh, Daniel Craig didn't win.
Colin Farrell's
Boo.
probably gave the funniest speech of the night. He yelled at Barry Keoghan for eating his cereal while on set,
That's funny.
and he talked about the donkey that they had that they were filming with.
I don't know about the donkey.
Yeah, you got to watch the movie to know what he's talking about.
I
But he was also good.
wanted Daniel Craig to win. Boo, sad.
One day, Sam. Maybe he'll win for doing that terrible Southern accent.
All right, best performance by an actress
in a motion picture, musical, or comedy.
was Michelle
So,
Yeoh.
essentially, for the Oscars right now, there's two frontrunners for this.
Mhm.
It's either going to be Kate Blanchett or Michelle Yeoh. Luckily for the Golden Globes, they split them into two separate categories, so they both got to win.
So they can both win.
So we really don't know who's going to win the Oscar.
It's a toss-up, guys.
So Michelle Yeoh won for
Everything
Best Action
Everywhere All
Motion
at Once.
Picture. So it turns out, despite the fact that Everything Everywhere All at Once probably has like one of the better scripts and is one of the better directed movies, it's probably going to win most of its awards. The acting categories. which is
Okay,
interesting.
the like whoever direct I don't actually remember.
Daniels.
Yeah, the Daniels. What kind of movie is Everything Everywhere All at Once not?
A musical.
Is there no musical segments?
No.
But it's basically everything else.
There's scenes with the music in it.
There's a bunch of like super well done action scenes.
Mhm.
The comedy is actually funny.
Mhm.
The drama is genuinely like moving.
Mm-hmm.
It does everything good. Great even.
But I think the old guys who do this, they didn't watch it.
They were
watched the
like,
trailer,
that is not white man.
and
What
they
is
saw
this
that there was
movie?
like a lot of weird stuff going on. And they just went, "This is probably
Why
a
that
joke."
lady got a hot dog for a hand?
They got to the part where
People don't have a
they
hot
got to the part where
dog
the
for a
rocks start
hand.
talking to each other, and they were just like, "Nah, I'm out. I don't know what's going on."
It's like if
I'm gonna
Wyatt
go watch
were-
The Fablemans.
it's like if Wyatt reviewed
That's
all these.
because Wyatt didn't
movies.
like that movie.
Yeah, he didn't like it because he's
'Cause
like,
it was too
"They
weird."
had a hot dog for finger. That movie dumb. And we were like, oh, so you just like missed the point.
Best in motion picture, musical, or comedy. Sam, this was where we got the big boys. This was really considered a two-way race. It was either going to be Everything Everywhere or Banshees of Inisherin, and Banshees of Inisherin won.
All right,
fine. I probably
cool.
like those are probably my two favorite movies of the year. To be honest, so I
Not Glass Onion,
don't really. Glass Onion was good, but
not
it's not as good as
Triangle
the
of Sadness,
I haven't seen.
but it's got the funniest name.
Was it?
It's a sad triangle. It's like a Dorito that's been dipped in a pool.
I don't think that's what it's referring to.
That's exactly what it's about. That's
It's actually about a boat. Anyway.
No.
It's about a Dorito that got dipped in
It's
a pool.
about a guy on a boat who dips a burrito, not a burrito, a Dorito in the ocean.
Maybe it is. I didn't watch it.
I didn't either.
Best performance by an action or motion picture. Okay. This one was really controversial. Because everyone thought it was going to be Brendan Fraser for the win.
Yeah.
However, Brendan Fraser did not show up to the awards because he has a really just a horrible thing happen to him by the guy who used to run the Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
Cool.
He said he was not going to show up no matter what. So weirdly enough, Austin Butler won for Elvis because that's a movie old people would like.
They've seen that.
Because they were alive when Elvis was cool.
They know him. They know her. He's been around. All right,
Elvis is
moving
a
on. The movie's a her.
The movie is a woman?
Yes.
Okay.
Best performance by an actress in a motion picture drama.
And then so Kate Blanchett won in this category.
For Tar against
Tar.
Olivia Colman for Empire of Light, Viola Davis for
Okay,
Woman King,
Sam, here was the big
and
boy.
the rest.
Best motion picture drama. The Fabelmans won.
What?
It beat
How?
out Tar, Elvis, Avatar, and Top Gun Maverick. Honestly,
Oh, well, now you see. Now that you read
it
the
probably
other
is
ones,
better than those
It is
four,
better than those four,
but it's
why is
not
it
better
those...
than Everything Everywhere and
No.
Banshees.
It's not.
So you see how splitting these up is weird.
Kind of goofed up the system here.
Yeah, I mean, cool, I guess.
I think way more people were crying during Everything Everywhere All at Once than laughing. So I think that is what we should use as a determinant for where it goes.
Yeah.
Is it more people laughing or more people crying?
Well, we'll see at the Oscars, won't we?
We'll find out.
I mean, it's definitely the front runner for like the stereotype Oscar bait movie, right?
And for the rest of
Like-
this, what?
Look,
Zoom
it's
in.
it's Happy Guillermo.
MacBook Zoom. Zoom. It doesn't like to zoom. He's
No, it
decided he
doesn't
does
wanna
not
zoom.
want to zoom.
But the Fabelmans feels like
Imagine it zooms though.
if you think of like the stereotype movie that people who run the Oscars love, it's long, it's made by Spielberg,
And it's
it's
boring.
about movie magic, it's about sappy family drama,
That's the stuff they like.
and it's for old people. So like it's everything.
And like there's no confusing thing.
No, it's very simple.
Like there's
You will not.
no
There's nothing up to interpretation.
it's
It is
just
all
what's
there.
going on. Yeah.
So
And now, not to discredit the movie, it's a very good movie. I like it a lot. It was a very well done movie. It's not
amazing. I don't think
it's
just
not
good.
like there's one layer to it. It is what it is.
Mhm.
It wears its colors on its sleeves. It's very brazen about its themes. It's about, creativity and you're expressing your passion. But it's not like as good as some of the other things that I think would. Anyway,
We'll find out who will win. Won't
or
we?
not nominated, but movies that were not nominated.
Everything, everywhere, all of it is not.
It's the best. It's the best one though. Best one. All right, moving on. Next next
Sam,
thing, next activity.
Now you want to talk about all of the big movies coming in 2023.
2023, the big boy, the roundup, the Woody's Roundup show, but it's not actually that because that's not a real show.
True.
Can you turn the camera a little bit more towards the TV, please? That a little more. There we go. Now you're in the shot too, but that's okay. Your face
I'm at
is
both.
kind of blocking out the Megan post. That's all right.
Nobody.
All right.
All right.
First
Sam.
up,
So we're gonna give you a preview. All the films. All the wide releases coming out in each
all
month.
the big major studio
We're gonna
releases.
highlight the ones anyone will probably see. All the ones that cost a lot that nobody will see.
all the
and
ones that just have funny little things to
we
say.
actually want to see. So
Yes.
that's what we're doing. We're going to start off with January, aka the worst month ever
For any movie.
for any movie because that's where studios dump their crap because the economy sucks in January.
Yes.
And so
Moving
no
on.
one puts out movies.
All right. First up, January. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F came out January 4th. This was a self-help book. I didn't know it was a movie until I...
apparently did not come out. It is getting delayed.
oh, it's been delayed.
Or it did.
We're getting conflicting information, but my information said it came out January 4th.
I think it's out.
All right, the consensus is
didn't
it's
watch it.
maybe out. No, we obviously didn't watch it.
Mithrigan.
It is a movie adaptation of a self-help book.
Yep.
Why on earth would I watch
I think
that?
it's a documentary about the guy who wrote.
Would you watch a movie that was a film adaptation of like a
Okay.
Betty Crocker
So
cookbook?
it's really a
No?
documentary about the author, but it's just titled the same thing as,
Okay, cool.
which was only like notable because there was
It
Katie
had the F
Porter
word
was
on the
reading it in a congressional hearing.
And it has the F word on it, and it
Yes.
has single-handedly destroyed the entire self-help genre. Because now every single self-help book has one swear word in it.
And that's
On the
how
title.
you get their attention as you go, oh, that's not supposed
They
to
said
be
the
there.
no words.
Nobody's allowed to say that.
Can't say those.
Not on the cover of a book in front of children.
All right, next up was Mithrigan,
A movie
or
we
Megan,
saw.
as most people refer to it as. A
An
movie we recently saw.
A surprisingly big hit.
It is... fine.
It's got the normie hype.
It's a movie.
That's the key to success, is if you got randos who don't care about movies at all, if they just start seeing enough TikTok ads,
They'll go see it.
they'll go see it. And Megan was able to key into that.
Although I haven't seen any TikTok ads for it.
I don't know. But
But,
kids, how do
So,
kids get advertised to
Megan is
nowadays?
not really a horror movie.
No, it's really like
It's-
a weird 90s comedy.
It's more like a drama about like...
I don't want to go that far.
It's like
Because
a,
it's not serious at all.
it's mostly about the role of AI in terms of like parenting.
It's trying to say something, but it's also really goofy and low budget.
It's a commentary on the role of AI when it comes to like
raising
parenting
children.
and raising
Yeah.
children. That's the main theme. Yes, Megan does do a little bit stabby
And I do a little sing.
do a little bit singing for like at random
Really
intervals for
weird.
no reason. But it's like
I
Dumb.
feel like that's gonna be the consensus.
there
from
were a
John.
lot of really funny moments though, where like she just like something stupid happens and the whole theater laughed because it's just like so dumb what's going on. Anyway, Shin Ultraman,
That's I believe is gonna be an unlimited release.
which is
That's a Japanese movie, which I believe is the same people who made
Shin Godzilla,
Shin Godzilla. It's
which
an
is
Ultraman film.
it's like it has the same hokey sort of look of the original. It's the same way they did with Shin Godzilla, where it looks old, but the story is more mature. So it's telling a serious story with a more...
If you don't know
classic-
what Ultraman is, it's an old
It's Power
kaiju
Rangers.
show from the 80s.
It is the show that Power Rangers is based on.
It's a show where a guy in a rubber suit
Battles
fights a
another
big
guy in a rubber suit.
suit monster every day.
And then he runs out of power and he's got to
And
recharge.
at the very end, he's got to use his ultra beam. And he does it, and he wins, and then he
So
flies
little known
away.
fact about us is we've seen the entire series.
Yep, every episode. Maybe
We were given the whole series on DVD
I don't know
for
who
Christmas
we got
one
it
year.
from.
Someone gave it to us. We don't like Power Rangers. We've never seen any of the Super Sentai shows. This is the one that all those are based on. But we watched the whole thing. It's bad. Like even as kids, we were like, "This is a weird
we
show."
didn't like it, but we would watch it because the whole episode was basically just two people punching each other.
Yeah, we liked the monster fight, which I mean, that's like the whole point.
And we liked it when he did, because his super move was he would just like do this with his hands,
And it shot a laser.
and it shot a little laser out of
Which
it.
we watched another show called Ben 10, which you're probably more familiar with. And Ben 10 has a character called Way Big, who is also
Who did the same hand
because he's
thing.
based on Ultraman.
Yeah, but
and
we were
he,
like,
he does the same hand cross
and
move.
we were like, hey,
And that was like the first time we were ever like, hey, that's
you stole
a
that from
reference.
Ultraman.
That's a reference that they made. But yeah,
Anyway, Sam, let's talk about
Moving on.
more crap.
House Party.
House Party,
You've
The-
seen the trailer. You don't want to see the
a
movie.
remake of a crappy '90s comedy.
I don't think we
from
need to talk anymore about that.
30 years ago.
A man called...
We got to say if these are going to be hits or bombs.
Bomb.
No one cares. Hit. Not going to be in wide release, so
Yeah, it
you can't
doesn't
really tell.
count.
It's going to make most of its money on like VOD.
it'll be good in Japan.
House Party is going to be a massive bomb
Mega bomb.
because they are not marketing it because Warner Brothers doesn't have any money to do it, and also it's probably not very good.
Yeah.
So maybe it's amazing.
It's
I
not.
don't care. I'm not going to watch it at any
Yeah.
point in my entire life. Okay, next, A Man Called Otto, which I believe January 13th is when it goes wide. It's
Yes.
already in like 900 theaters right now.
Oh yeah, I was
It's
actually
doing okay.
when I was out with the people from restaurant I work at. The theater in mall I was at actually had auto playing.
Yeah. It's got
But
like
yeah, it exists.
okay reviews. It costs way too much.
No one will see it because it's not a thing
Sam,
anyone
this movie had a
recognizes.
$50 million budget, and it's a movie about an old guy who just like walks around in his neighborhood.
We could have made that movie, like
How many-
genuinely.
Okay, but how did that cost $50 million?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, we could have made that movie on the budget of our
and
movies.
the only big actor in it is Tom Hanks.
Yeah, he's the only
He must
one.
have gotten like $20 million.
Yeah.
That's why.
The next
But
one.
I guess that one's probably not going to make any money in theaters. But I think
I think that one just won't make any money.
white moms might watch it though.
But like, you can't really take your kids to that because it's boring.
No, not like in theaters. I'm saying like, I don't think it'll make
Like
a lot
at
of money
home?
in theaters.
Like
I think
PVOD?
it'll probably be like pretty successful on like stream.
Maybe. I don't think this movie stands out at all. I think this movie
Other than it's got Tom Hanks in it.
other than it has Tom Hanks, but he was also in that Apple TV movie, 2 of them, and no one's even heard of those.
That's true.
Tom Hanks isn't like a big flashy
Tom
guy.
Hanks.
He's great. He's a great actor, but he's not a flashy actor. He's not a Scarlett Johansson.
Well, not
He's
as much as he used to.
Not as much.
Because he's
anymore.
older. I mean, he can't do the same stuff anymore.
But like, yeah, I think this movie just doesn't stand out. I don't think it has anything to bring people in.
25, 50. Come on, cheap.
All right, Plane.
That's this year's
Disaster movie.
essential Gerard Butler crap. He puts one out every year, every
bomb.
January.
That movie's gonna plane
I
crash.
feel like
Get it? Because it's about plane crash.
how much did plane? Let's find out. They probably aren't going to say.
We don't need to know the budget to know it's not going to do
Well, because it might have enough. Just like another $50 million movie, not going to make.
Also,
it
Tucker, we're in January, and there's 12 months, and we need to go faster.
Okay. Plane
Will do bad.
Dumb. I love the title though.
Missing does not even have an act. Yeah,
That's the It's the same people who made Searching.
It's sponsored by Apple. It's an Apple ad.
It's another movie about where the whole thing takes place on the perspective of a laptop screen.
It takes place on a MacBook screen.
So if you remember that crappy movie Unfriended from like 8 years ago,
It's the same thing.
it's another one of those. It's gonna be super cheap though. So it could make some money.
I think this movie will not lose money,
No,
but I don't know if it will be a big hit.
because there's no way it costs more than like $2 million.
All they needed to make it was like one MacBook and like a set in Mexico.
I think it'll do okay. It'll have enough people interested just based on like
The premise, yeah. All right.
Never heard of The Sun.
Me neither,
Women Talking is going into wide, but nobody's going to see it
because it already came out.
No, because it's literally a movie about like 6 women in a barn talking to each other for like an hour and 45
Well, that
minutes.
sounds really
and
endearing.
nobody
That really sounds
Oscar
awesome.
people are going to love it. Everyone else is going to fall asleep.
No,
and not
that
care.
sounds so. I want to see that movie so much right now.
Fear. No, I've never heard of it. Infinity Pool is a new movie
Don't touch
from
the TV.
Brandon Cronenberg.
Oh, he's
David
making a
Cronenberg's
movie again?
Son. His last movie I think was
Is he also doing body horror? Or does he do other things?
it's like the
Okay.
same. But his last movie came out in 2020.
You know, just because you're the son of a director who's famous for a thing doesn't mean you have to do that.
People
thing.
liked his last thing, so
Like, it's the same with like Ghostbusters. Like, just because you're the son of a famous director, you don't gotta do the same thing. You can do different thing.
yeah.
I'm not saying your work is bad. I'm just saying you're allowed to do other things.
But this will probably. I don't even think it's It's ever going to go in wide release. So it'll probably have like a weird cult audience on like Shudder.
it'll be like
But
really
it's not
popular.
going to make
on
any money in
whatever, yeah.
theaters,
All right, and Shotgun Wedding.
which I think is an Amazon Prime movie. So
Yeah, some of these I put on here
don't
before
care.
I changed what the like requirements were to be on this list.
Alright, next one.
All right, next slide.
February.
We
Okay.
got first up
Here's when they actually start to put out the big movies again.
movies that actually like people
So,
want to see.
To Wet Your Beak, the first 2 come out on February 3rd. That's 80 for Brady. And Knock at the Cabin, 80 for Brady, obviously, is a comedy about 4 old women who go
Who are real
to the
into Tom
Super
Brady,
Bowl, specifically Super Bowl 51 between the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots.
based on a true story, apparently.
At the time, okay, this movie, they haven't even pretended to like share what the true story is.
Yeah,
So my guess is the actual story is literally just like 4 friends
went to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl and there was no hijinks involved. They just
Yeah.
went there.
They just went to the Super Bowl,
And they just
and maybe
that's-
they like met Tom Brady at some point.
like they saw him in the hallway.
Yeah.
So, like that's the true story. But that is gonna bomb. It looks really dumb.
Yeah, it does not
And
look good.
these types of movies just nobody sees in theaters anymore. Knock at the Cabin, regardless of how good it is, I feel like it'll make money because it's a horror thing.
But it's M. Night Shyamalan though, so
But-
it's gonna be
okay.
bad.
Now, it's another one of his self-financed things.
Oh no,
And
that's not.
he's
good.
writing and directing. Okay, quality-wise,
That's extra super bad sign.
quality-wise, Old was not very well liked.
That's because it was dumb and bad.
This movie, my guess, it's another thing based on a graphic novel. So He's working off source material again. Actually, I think this one is just a novel. Old was a graphic novel, but
Yeah.
He's
But Old
obviously
was
gonna,
also bad.
He's obviously going to change it to add a dumb twist. But
He's got to have that twist. He thinks that that's what makes a movie important.
you know why? Because people told him that after Sixth Sense came out, they were like, M. Night, you got to have a twist in every movie now.
And then he was like, that's a great idea.
Okay.
He's like, but what about, okay, but for Avatar though, no twist. Oh, okay, twist in every movie now.
Well, I don't think he wrote Last Airbender. I think he
Nobody
just
directed it.
But Old cost $18 million
Hmm.
and made $90 million.
Hmm.
So that did make money.
It made money, but it was bad.
Doesn't matter. We're probably not going to like it.
No,
but it will
yeah.
probably make money. Because this is probably not going to cost any more than Old did. It's another like six
It has
six
one
actors
set.
in a cabin. So
Yeah.
again, that'll probably make money, and it's a horror thing, so it's got a built-in audience. On February 10th,
Magic Mike's
Magic
Last
Mike
Dance.
comes back. Magic Mike's The Last Dance. He's
Balls in your face, the movie.
He's in Europe. He's training the next generation. This is the real premise. The next
Oh, they're
generation,
Borutoing Magic
the
Mike?
next generation of male strippers.
They're Borutoing Magic Mike. Okay.
And what is now a trilogy for some reason.
You know, out of all the franchises that needed to be trilogies, this was one of them.
Steven Soderbergh's back to direct. So is Channing Tatum as the Mr. Magic Mike.
Hey, Tucker, guess what?
Salma Hayek's in it.
No. Guess what?
What?
Magic Mike got a trilogy before the Flash movie came out.
Sure did. This movie was supposed to go to HBO Max, but then they moved it when they decided they weren't going to do HBO Max. So we'll see how this
Well,
does.
yeah, this movie's gonna. I mean,
feel like it might.
They do
okay.
pretty well, just because like people forget like girls also like to see
Yeah,
dudes.
Magic Mike's Double XL made 122 off of $14 million
That's
budget.
pretty good.
And my guess is because this was supposed to be an HBO Max thing, this probably cost even less than that did.
And let's be honest,
So
no one's going to see this movie
if this
because they
movie
think it'll
makes
be
like
good.
50, 60, that'll probably make like a profit.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Now the only problem is that it's gonna have no marketing
Yeah.
because they don't have any money for that right
Well,
now.
you don't need marketing. You got balls and abs. You're good to go.
Yes, they should just cut trailers of just like
Balls,
stock footage of
abs.
a guy and just like a pair of underwear just like standing there.
Just like Mr. Nimbus from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, just that.
Just like him flapping his
Just
balls
put
around.
Channing Tatum in a Speedo and just have him like walk around a green screen. And that'll save you so much marketing.
Yeah, you're good.
dollars.
All right. Next up is What About Love? Coming
Never
out
heard of it.
February 14th. Neither have I. But
Neither
it was
heard
on.
of Marlowe. I think that's a Netflix.
But those are both major. No, those are theatrical releases.
Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
But the actual
Then
big one
we
is
have a big
Ant-Man
big
and the
boy.
Wasp: Quantumania on February 17th.
And for that, we actually. Ooh, no, hello, go back.
which got a new trailer this week. It played at the College Football National Championship,
We are gonna do the trailer now.
which was a terrible game where Georgia won 65-7. But they waited until the third quarter to release the trailer. So by the time it actually aired, everybody had stopped
So
watching.
here's the new trailer right here. And I find
sure- oh,
myself in
you're
a
an interesting man.
Read it or else we'll get
Scott
complete-
Lang.
Right.
Shut up. Okay.
So,
I want you to stay though.
I like the setup of it.
The premise, I think, is one of the most interesting.
I like the
of-
premise for the character of Scott Lang.
I think that in terms of hero-villain relationships, this is probably the most interesting of all the Marvel movies.
Yeah, I like the setup. The script sounds like it's pretty good.
Because never before, in my memory that I can remember, has a hero gone to a villain to gain something, and that be the inciting incident.
I like the premise. I love the cast. It's an amazing cast.
You know the cast.
Yeah,
You've
you
seen
get
them.
Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Jonathan Majors, Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Douglas, Catherine Newton, Bill Murray. I'll see a
Let's
movie
go.
with them in it.
Let's go.
My concerns are the CGI world,
The whole thing is CGI. All of
ham-fisted
it.
sequel setup, and Peyton Reed.
And this movie only exists to introduce Kang to the
My
MCU.
worry is they're literally just selling this on the fact that this is going to come out before Kang Dynasty does. The tagline is
a new
witness the
dynasty,
beginning of
yeah.
a new dynasty. So I'm worried it'll be like 1/3 pretty good Ant-Man movie and then 2/3
2/3
just
Avengers
like
setup.
exposition for the Avengers storyline.
See,
and if it is that, I'm not going to like
What
it.
I'm worried about is that all this is the first 30 minutes.
And then it's just
And the rest is
Kang
Kang's
shooting
out there
lasers.
doing evil now.
yeah. Oh.
Oh, yeah,
you wanna
MODOK's
talk
here.
about MODOK?
We don't. You,
Why is MODOK? Why
here?
are you doing MODOK in this movie?
Because he's too goofy.
You know why?
He's too goofy to be a main villain.
You just
but
pause
he's-
it for a sec.
He's just goofy enough to be
know
like a
why?
side villain.
I bet you, before this was Ant-Man and the Wasp,
MODOK was the main
Kang
villain
does a
originally.
big explosion. The original version of Ant-Man 3 was just like another Ant-Man
He
movie.
fights Kang. Yeah,
and it
or
was-
he fights
It was MODOK.
Yeah.
And then they were like, hey, these movies don't make a lot of money compared to the other ones.
Put the Avengers
gotta
villain
set
in
up-
it.
The whole big storyline for this whole phase, just make it the Kang movie and just have Ant-Man be there.
Now, do you think that the MCU is actually going to make Ant-Man the reason why Kang the Conqueror is taking over the world?
I think they'll make him the reason he escapes from the quantum realm.
I know. Do so you think there's going to be like, so either he dies in this movie or he spends the next year of Marvel being sad that he's
You
the
know what?
reason everyone is
The
dying.
fact that he's gonna one-on-one Kang multiple times in this movie is even less of an excuse for him to not pull the up the butt maneuver. He's gonna have so many chances to pull the up the butt maneuver, and he's not gonna do it.
No, because he can't get much smaller in the quantum realm.
It's true.
So his most powerful
That's-
attack has been nerfed.
That's how they do it. You kill Ant-Man in the quantum realm, so then you get rid of that loophole. That's smart,
Yeah.
Mr. Feige.
But you have to
You got me.
Then you also have to kill Stature and the Wasp and everyone else who can shrink, though.
True.
I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think that's ever going to be a viable strategy. Although they do reference it in the canon Disney park, so whatever.
What are you gonna do? But yeah, I don't. I really just want to see like a really good third Ant-Man movie with just these characters and these
Yeah.
actors. Like that, I would rather have that, but that's just never gonna happen anymore.
I worry that having Ant-Man, because he has to at least come close to beating Kang for the movie to like be entertaining.
Yeah, which I feel like will make Kang look pathetic.
Yeah, it'll make him look
That
like
he got
not a
beat
very
up by like a 58-year-old Ant-Man.
yeah. And then also we have Loki season 2 also coming out. I think this year, right?
Yeah, which we'll get to later.
So like, how does that work?
I think what's gonna happen is this is dealing with the Kang.
If you guys haven't seen the Loki show, number 1, you're missing out. Number 2,
At the end,
they reveal that Kang has, for the most part, taken over the multiverse.
if you're not keeping up with the whole thing, you're never gonna catch up. Just give up.
Go watch Loki though; it's good.
But I feel like this is gonna deal with like the Kang stuff, and then the Loki will be more just like EVA centered stuff.
It'd be a shame though if they don't like pick up where
It
they
appeals
left
from the set photos from Loki is that they're doing what the original premise for that was, which was Loki and his pals
Time
do
Cop
mischief
Loki.
in time.
off. Time Cop Loki.
I feel like Loki will be more because I feel like they want to do multiple seasons of Loki, and I feel like they're just gonna make it into like a more of like a standalone thing, so they can keep making it.
Yeah.
Because the other question is, do you think they're gonna kill Ant-Man in this?
He is, I think, currently one of the oldest of the Avengers characters that's still there.
He's definitely the oldest actor playing an Avengers.
He's the
character.
oldest Avengers actor.
Actually, wait, I don't
at the
think he
moment.
is because I think Benedict Cumberbatch is older than he is.
Yeah, but like Doctor Strange doesn't have to do much to fight.
He just waves
He
his
flies
hand.
around and waves his hands. Like
Well, no, he isn't. Actually, I think Paul Rudd is the oldest.
Ant-Man jumps and flips and kicks around, right?
Because Paul Rudd is 53.
I think there's a
It-
chance.
It looks good though that Paul Rudd.
I think there's a chance this is
And the Fountain of
Ant-Man's, or at least Scott Lang's last forte as Ant-Man.
My only problem is, well, not really a problem, just from like a story perspective, is I feel like they have to kill Hank Pym before they can kill Scott Lang, and you can't kill
Well, they
them
don't have
both in
to.
the same movie.
I don't think you have to do that. I think
I
you
feel
can-
like they
because then
naturally
you
from the-
also have Hank Pym doesn't want to train another Ant-Man because his last
Well,
student
don't
died.
worry, Sam. This movie already has his replacement in
So
it.
you can do that too.
His daughter's gonna be a Shrinky Hero.
Yeah, but Hank Pym's not going to want to train her because
That's
his
what the Wasp
best
is for.
buddy died.
They're not gonna kill Ant-Man and the Wasp.
No, they can only kill one.
Like, it can only kill when it's not gonna be the Wasp. They're gonna kill Ant. If
Yeah, no one cares about
someone's
the
gonna
Wasp.
die, it's gonna be Ant-Man. So
I think this might be the Rogue One of the MCU. So I think that Ant-Man is going to be fighting Kang, and at the end, he's going to sacrifice his life to create some kind of weakness in Kang that then later is exploited in the last of the Secret Wars or whatever.
What if he gets stuck in the quantum realm?
Again?
And that's how they momentarily defeat him.
Then the stakes of that are stupid.
So...
Oh no, he's in there again.
How was he stuck in there for like 5 hours and he didn't encounter them?
He's in there again.
How come the quantum realm is constantly changing?
No, he
what
didn't
it
have
is?
his suit though. He got sucked in there by accident.
No, he had his suit on because they were doing experiments. He comes out.
Yeah, but he didn't have any way to get out. Someone had to pull him out.
But how did...
Remember the rat stuck
But he
on the
was
button?
just floating around in there for 5 hours and he didn't find the giant big city with the big spaceman in it? Or I guess he didn't exist yet.
Okay, Tucker,
I
how
don't know.
big is the universe, Tucker?
I don't know. The quantum realm makes no sense.
Hang on. How big is the universe? Big, right? Okay. Now imagine you're a billionth the size of yourself.
Yeah.
How big is the universe now?
Super duper big.
Yeah, so the odds of him finding it, that is very small. I'm not worried about that. That I can believe didn't happen. Also, he was only in there for 5 hours. That's like what? A day? Half a day?
See the Bill Murray
The
scene,
time you wake up to the
and then
time
I'll
the
fall
afternoon
asleep.
is?
Again, my other worry is this Peyton Reed, and I don't think he's a very good director.
I think it'll be okay. But
I'm sure it'll be fine. And
I
I'll forget
am-
it in a week.
I don't think I get... the only Marvel movie I'm optimistic for right now is Guardians 3.
Pretty much.
I hope
It's
this
the
movie
only
is
one I
good.
know is going to be an actual story and not like half just like sequel setup.
I hope this movie is good, but I have no expectations.
My expectations are that Kang is going to shoot a lot of big lasers.
My expectation is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Again.
Again. So, anyway, let's finish off the trailer here.
Yeah, what else is there?
He
They fight.
does a fight.
Everyone,
You can't win.
everyone is freaking out about the
He's
line.
got a million of himself in there.
Hey, pause. Second.
I'm
I'm pretty sure they're also just going to do the Doctor Strange thing where it's just...
gonna pause when he shoots. There we go.
Look, he's got blue.
Got blue. Now we're blue and
Now, the
screen's blue.
CGI is better in this than in the first trailer.
Yes, remarkably
Much
so.
better. It looks much less like Spy Kids.
They look less like Spy Kids characters and look more like early 2000s movie characters.
So we're working our way up.
I get actually that was Spy Kids. Okay, like 2010s movie characters.
We can work our way all the way up to like 2015.
We'll be good. We'll be set.
But this is a movie where there were 4 actors on a blue screen and they just ran around.
Yeah, and wearing green suits.
That concerns.
Anyway, let's finish. This
Remember
off
when
here.
movies had people in them and like real sets?
Manium.
Okay, also, why did they give the goofiest title to the most serious Ant-Man movie?
Great question. I think
Like,
it's
Quantumania
'cause-
is goofy.
Well, I don't want to
No,
see your
shut up.
reaction, random guy. Shut up.
Boo.
Go away. All right, back to you. Back to you, presentation.
Now we're back to real movies. Cocaine Bear comes out on February 24th. I'm hyped. I'm ready to go.
That's what
I
I've been
hear
waiting
people
for.
talking about this movie.
Woo!
I think it's actually going to be a pretty big hit.
I think this movie will be absolutely just horrible, like just a awful movie.
But also, like, how do you make this movie
But the
look serious?
premise is Cocaine Bear.
It's in the
You
title.
can't go wrong.
My favorite part of this movie is going to be all the little kids walking past the poster on their way to the animated cartoon of the month.
Going, Mommy, what's cocaine?
What's a cocaine, Mom? And their mom has to explain it to them. And that's going to be entertainment
It's a
unto itself.
soda flavor, Timmy.
But yeah, Cocaine Bear, I'm hyped. I'm ready to go. Just give it to me, baby.
I think we've been following this movie longer than anyone else. This is like, what is this like? You know when H3 got to interview Papa John?
Yeah.
This is like our getting to interview Papa John. We've been memeing about this movie
What if we
for
interviewed
years.
Papa John while watching Cocaine Bear?
I don't know how the logistics of that would work.
I don't know either, but that would be like you can't peek higher. than
But we
that.
never memed about Papa John. He's not our guy.
No.
This is our guy. This is the white whale.
And after this,
We've been chasing
we
this
can
movie.
end the podcast.
We've been chasing this movie for 2 years now.
If you gave me the choice between Ant-Man and Cocaine Bear, I would pick
I'd go see Cocaine Bear.
literally every time.
I mean, mostly just because we got to finish the story arc.
And
here.
also because like this brings me any level of excitement.
Yeah, I'm like hyped for that.
And,
Ant-Man
you know,
I could take it or leave.
I don't care.
I mean, I'll see it, but I could take it.
Ant-Man
or leave.
is like going to Pizza Hut.
Yeah, Ant-Man is like going
It's
to
just
eat it.
like okay, I eat it.
No,
I guess
it's the combination KFC and Taco Bell. That's what Ant-Man is. It's like, yeah, it's food,
maybe,
and it might taste good,
but
but it'll probably just give you diarrhea.
and I don't want to eat it, but it's there.
And I'm hungry. Cocaine Bear is like Like you ordered Papa
Five
John's.
Guys.
No, it's like you ordered Papa John's. Like
Like-
it's still not great, but like
But you actually
you're
chose,
having fun. You're having fun. You
And
invited
you-
some friends over. You're having a good time.
and you chose to eat it.
And
you
you
had
chose to eat
options. Ant-Man was like you only saw it because that's just what everyone else
Because
did.
your friend wanted to have their birthday party
Yeah.
there. And you didn't want to say no.
It's
so
the
you
Chuck
really
E.
had to
Cheese
go.
of movies.
Yeah, it's the Chuck E. Cheese of movies.
All
right.
Jesus Revolution is the
It's the one where the hippies go to church.
every year around Easter, Sony Pictures puts out like a Christian film.
This one actually looks good
It
though.
looks fine.
Like this one actually looks like the actors
They're
are like
usually
real
fine,
actors.
the ones I've seen, but they usually cost a little bit of money. All the churches
They only have a few sets.
church Bible studies usually go in like groups to them,
Yeah.
and they make a good chunk of change for Easter. Then they have enough to make another one the next year. There's always one famous actor in it, and this one it's Kelsey Grammer. So good for Kelsey.
I actually think this movie looks good. I
wasn't he
actually
supposed to make Frasier again?
like that.
What happened to that?
He got old.
No, he was supposed to reboot it last
He's not
year,
gonna
and it's just
do
never
that.
materialized.
Yeah, it's not happening. Mummies.
Don't know what that is.
What's
Move on.
that?
Don't care.
No, all right, moving on. Movies.
For March and April, so this is where we get into the big blockbusters, Sam.
We're getting into the summer flicks.
Well, not quite the summer.
The
Almost
summer
the
flicks
summer.
and that.
It's the stuff that wasn't big enough for the summer.
But wasn't small enough for the winter.
Yes.
All right.
Move on.
First up,
March.
we got a heavy hitter, a big swinger, a knockout. Creed 3. Get it? Get all the boxing references I
I
made?
get it because he's a boxer.
Get it? Because he does boxing in that movie. But yes, Creed 3 coming out March 3rd, the third day of March for the third Creed movie.
I have seen Rocky, and that's it.
I have met people who have seen Rocky.
I know a person who saw Creed 2 like 10 times in one day. I'm
That's
sure
good.
he's excited for this one.
Next up is Inside.
But I know about Creed 3. I'm happy for Michael B. Jordan because this is his directorial debut.
He's directing this one?
Uh-huh. It's
Did
also
he not
got
direct the other ones?
no.
Who directed the other ones?
Ryan Coogler did the first one, and then Stephen Caple Jr. Did the second one, and he's doing the third one. So
Right. Why not?
I'm
Okay.
excited for him. I want to see what he does, but also this is the first one of these without Rocky in it. I'm also interesting how it
Oh, it
just,
transitions.
it transitions just to purely Creed.
Yeah.
But it's also got Jonathan Majors, and the premise is pretty good. So you know what? This might actually do pretty good.
You know what's funny?
Could do decently well, and I think it will probably be a pretty good movie.
7 Rocky Cinematic Universe movies came out before Flash got a movie.
Well, to be fair, the Rocky franchise started in like 1977.
Yeah, and the Flash comic book started in like the 1930s.
True, but
So
who was gonna make a Flash movie in
I don't
1970?
know, they made a Superman movie in like 1970 something.
But that was Superman,
You get my
and
point.
the Flash is the Flash.
You get my point. Anyway,
Also, they're making another Rocky film after this.
What
That
is-
is just a Rocky.
what
movie.
is Inside? What is that?
I don't know. So
Is
we can
that
skip
not
it.
the same as the Pixar one?
I'm guessing it's not that Bo Burnham special. So who cares?
Oh, wait, maybe it is. Is it getting a
It's
theatrical
not.
release?
It did. That did. Remember for like a week.
Oh, okay, whatever. Anyway, Scream 6.
More Scream.
It's
Um,
on Mario Day.
neither one
March
of us
10th.
were big fans of Scream 5.
That's because it sucked and it was terrible.
I'm generally a fan of Scream franchise. I've even seen the TV show, all 3 seasons.
I've only seen the movie and it ruined the Scream franchise for me.
So this one does not have Nev Campbell for really dumb reasons because they refused to
dies.
pay her,
Oh, yeah, she.
even though she was the main character in the first 4
yeah,
and a main character in the 5th one.
Oh no, that's a good.
And they're
decision.
like, "Come on, Nev, you're not worth the money, main character."
we don't need Luke Skywalker for our Star Wars
No,
movies.
Sam, we can make it with only Chewbacca.
Oh wait, they did that. And
This
no
one
saw
is
it.
going to New York because apparently they think it's 1989.
Scream does New York.
Pretty much. But
All right, cool. What's
no,
65?
I'm not done. It could be fine, but I feel like it's not gonna. I don't love the new cast.
It's gonna do the
But
same
you know
as
what?
Scream 5.
It's gonna be a big hit because Jenna Ortega's in it. And if
Oh yeah.
But this was
Forgot.
made before Wednesday came out, and if they killed her off in this movie, it'll probably be the
Big
dumbest
mistake.
financial decision they've ever
Big
made.
mistake.
That would be the funniest thing ever if who is now like one of the biggest stars on the planet. they
It will
killed
dep-
off in the movie because it took so long to come out.
It will depend on if the character stays a virgin. Because if you have sex in a horror movie, you die.
I think all of the characters in this one have had sex. They've all had sex in Scream before.
No, but she was in the hospital the whole time.
That's true.
She's the only one.
Maybe if she does anything in this movie, it'll get more
As long as
attention.
she just doesn't have sex, then she'll
Remember when she just did nothing that whole movie?
Yeah, she was just in the hospital.
Remember
the
that?
whole
You
time.
know how the only reason that the villains are able to have their plan commence at that house is because she needed to go get like her pain
Yep,
meds?
she needed her inhaler.
Her inhaler.
Because she had asthma. And the directors don't know how asthma works.
I watch in this one, they just completely forget she has asthma.
Yeah, no, she won't.
She won't.
She
They'll
won't.
completely have forgotten
forgot.
that they wrote that in. Anyway, we'll move on to the next one.
Or it'll be like a major plot point, one or the other.
The killer.
It'll be like the reason she dies.
At the end of the movie, Ghostface will take his mask off and it'll go, kids, the real villain is not
Is
taking
asthma. And then she has an asthma attack and dies.
It's asthma. If you have asthma, talk to your doctor about getting an inhaler.
and then he takes a puff of Zolpidem, even though that inhaler's been discontinued.
Why was that sound?
Because it was expensive to produce.
Dang. All right, 65 is that movie where Adam Driver fights some dinosaurs with a laser gun.
Okie dokie.
I'm on board. I don't think it's gonna make any money. I don't think
Adam
anyone
Driver's
cares.
good. The Jurassic Park movies
But I
are
also
sometimes
feel
good.
like it'll. Now it does have that going for it. Apparently, people still be loving dinosaurs for some reason. But
People honestly have been kind of cheated out of good dinosaur movies for a while.
But I feel like it'll have the problem of it is not going to have the big enough budget to do like really good and really frequent dinosaur effects. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. But next up
Is the first DC thing of the year.
yes.
It's,
Shazam.
Stage 1 and its final 4 stages of the DCEU. For James Gunn flushes everything down the toilet.
It's
and
one of
starts over.
the last embers of a dying franchise.
Yes. I did like the first. I think you and I both liked the.
Yeah,
first
no, it was
Shazam.
good. It was a good movie.
You didn't
was
like
fun.
it when it first came out, though.
No, I did like it when it first came out.
You told me.
No, Patrick didn't like it.
No, you didn't like it because the CGI was bad.
No, I said the CG. No, I said the villain was bad, and I stand by that. The villain was awful. The villain was terrible. The 7 Deadly Sins were ruined in that movie. They were so dumb, but the movie was fun. It was a good movie. The villain just sucked balls.
No, I'm pretty excited for this one. I like
And my problem with the CGI was that all of
the Deadly Sins.
they all looked the exact same. They were all just gray blob dudes.
Well, don't worry, Sam. This one has actual human people as the villains. This
Good.
time.
That's good. That's what I want.
But I like the director. I like Zachary Levi. I like the kids.
They're fun.
I'm on board.
Billy Batson's getting a little old. Kind of like his 20s now almost.
If they do a big reboot, they're gonna have to make him a little kid. But also, like, it's so hard to make movies with kids where the kids don't look 10 years old.
Yeah, it's kind of the nature.
The Stranger
of things.
Things kids are like freshmen in high school, and they're all like
No,
25.
they're the same age as me.
No, I'm like canonically.
Oh, you mean in the universe? Yeah.
And, but they're all the actors.
They're
are
all like 20. Yeah.
like almost 30. So,
No, most of them are in the same grade as I am.
so we'll see. I'm excited for Shazam. I hope it's good. That one, maybe might make some money.
That one will probably make money.
Oh, I forgot to do Scream. Scream is gonna make money because it's cheap. 65 is gonna bomb. Shazam, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Champions, what is that?
Never heard of that.
Nope.
Moving
All
on.
right, I haven't either.
John Wick Chapter 4.
I'm gonna make bunch of money. Lots of money.
None of them have been
Lots of money.
big grossers, though.
Yeah, but they're really popular.
I guess.
No, they're the basically the only like big modern action franchise.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that's not a Marvel or a DC or a Star Wars.
we'll see what happens, but I
Like-
think they're kind of running it into the ground at this point.
This is the last one.
No, it's not.
Not?
They're doing a spin-off with Ana de Armas. They're doing a Peacock series. And they're
Does
doing
that
a
have
fifth
Keanu
one.
Reeves in it though?
The spin-off will, and the spin-off movie will, and he might be in the TV show.
Is this the last John Wick movie?
No,
They've said they're making more.
they definitely will.
Okay, well this movie will be fine.
But we'll see.
John Wick makes lots.
I
of money.
think ever since John Wick 2, the plots have just been like, he violated a rule in the organization, and so he has to go do a thing. But then by doing that thing, he violated another rule. And so now they're
people
after
just
him
like
again.
watching him kill dudes. People see John Wick for the same reason they see Fast and Furious. It's just like Keanu Reeves is a better actor than everyone in Fast and Furious. That's the only thing that makes it different.
Yes. Also, they dropped the subtitles. Just back
Yeah,
to
it's just chapter 4 now.
So now it's going to go John Wick Chapter 2, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, and then John Wick Chapter 4.
So only 3 had a subtitle.
Only 3 got a subtitle that makes no sense at all.
All right.
What is a Parabellum?
It's a pair of bells that go
That movie had a crappy logo. If you look at this, it goes Keanu Reeves, Chapter John 3 Wick, Parabellum.
Yeah, chapter
That's
John
what the
3 Wick.
logo looks like.
That's a good logo, I think. Methinks that's the best logo.
Yeah, the last one cost $75 million, which was the most expensive one up to date, and made $327 million worldwide.
That's a lot.
I think
That's
this
a
one
big
will
boy.
do less, just because the box office has gone down over the past few years.
I think it'll do the same.
I think it'll probably do somewhere in the 200 millions.
I think I'm feeling a strong 250, 75 to 50.
It's got a lot of competition though. March is pretty packed. It's mainly going to be competing with Creed, Shazam, and John Wick.
That's true.
I mean,
Shazam,
yeah, Creed and Shazam.
that might steal some of its
And then it's
thunder.
got another competitor the next week, which is Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves on March 31st.
This movie will bomb beyond belief.
Oh yes, it'll be a big time.
This movie will not ever be
No.
heard of again after its
It's
release
going to
week.
cost way too much money. They're going to overmarket the crap out of it.
It already has been overmarketed.
All the marketing will be cringe.
Most
they're
of
just-
the marketing's fine.
No, but I'm feeling like that they're going to just put like crappy rock songs over all the trailers.
Yeah.
And they're going to have like a dumb TikTok hashtag to promote it. And they'll do like really dumb marketing stunts.
It's very corporate.
Yeah, it's
very
super. It looks
corporate.
like the most generic fantasy movie ever made.
Yeah. And like we talked about earlier, okay, number one, D&D's having their biggest controversy ever right now. Like, they talked about that on the Linus Tech Tips podcast. You know how much D&D he's played?
None.
Barely knows what it is. They are having the biggest controversy that they will probably ever have. I'm calling it now. They're probably not going to have a controversy bigger than this, the one they're in right now with the gaming license.
Yeah.
And they're expecting all the fans they just stabbed in the back to go watch their cool new movie.
Like, if you just put a computer program and it just said, like, make me a fantasy action film,
You get this.
it would just print this out. It's like a bunch of, like, B-level stars and, like, a generic premise about an evil man who's going to blow up the world and our team of heroes who got to stop him. And they got the two most frequently used screenwriters in Hollywood, Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley, whose last, I believe, film they directed
but
two
Chris
films.
Pine's there though.
They directed 2 films before. They did Game Night with Jason Bateman, which I heard was actually pretty good.
That's a movie.
And then, Sam, do you remember the Vacation reboot?
Yes.
Ed Helms. They did that one as well.
Well, that's not a good sign.
No, it is not. So we'll see what happens with this. But what we'll see is a bomb because it's.
Oh, it will not do well. No, it will not be
No.
doing good at all.
Lock in. I'm betting bomb on that one. If that movie even like breaks even, I'll be shocked beyond belief.
Yeah, I would be genuinely surprised.
All right.
Next.
Let's move on to April because we're taking too long.
April time.
I have not heard of the top 3. The biggest release is on April 7th with Super Mario
Mama
Bros. Movie,
Mario.
which I think of all of the movies this year has the best chance of making $1 billion.
I don't think that's true.
I do.
Don't think
Do you think it'll make $1 billion?
make $1 billion, like in the box office.
Yeah, I think it very well could. Minions 2 came really close. Minions 2 came within like $70 million. This is a ginormous IP. This is an all-star voice cast of just like every celebrity you've ever heard of. Illumination, who markets the crap out of everything they make.
True.
It's going to be, apparently it's only like an hour and 20 minutes long, which
Also
means
true.
it'll play
lots
like,
of tickets.
like 30 times every day. It's got really like the entire family market cornered for this entire month.
For the year, really.
I think it probably will. If it doesn't make $1 billion, it's gonna at least make 700 to 800 million. I think it's gonna be a giant hit, and that's regardless
it'll
of whether or not
be-
it's any good.
I don't know. Because, like, yet it has all that stuff going for it. But when I see the trailers and when I see the poster and when I hear people talk about it, I don't know. Something's just off. It feels like there's less hype than there should be. It just feels like the movie doesn't have the hype that it should.
Okay.
Something's off. Something smells off.
Every parent who's going to take their kid to a movie this month is going to take them to this movie. Okay, that's one. Two, every Mario fan that there is going to go see this.
True.
A lot of video game fans will go see it just to see what it's like. And four, a lot of people will go see it for the meme because, haha, Chris Pratt is Mario.
What is the biggest video game franchise?
Pokemon.
What was Nintendo's last movie?
I believe it was Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
How did that do?
Pretty good. Did
Make a billy?
433 on a $150 million budget.
That's not a Billy.
That's not a billion, but it's also a weird movie.
Bad.
It was live action. It had really only one star in it, and that was Ryan Reynolds. And all he did
Ryan
was voice
Reynolds
Pikachu.
and Chris Pratt are like on the same level.
But it only had Ryan Reynolds. Like the other lead in that was Justice Smith, and that's not a criticism of Justice Smith.
That's true. It didn't have any other
But
big
Justice
names.
Smith and Jack Black are not equals, right?
That's true.
It was also live action.
But also, you can't mark it with their faces, though. You can't mark it with Jack Black's face. You can't mark it with Chris Pratt's face.
But you couldn't mark it with Ryan Reynolds' face either.
That's true, but that's because of bad decisions.
But it also came out in a much more competitive marketplace, and it was like, it's going to cost more than this did. And this is
True.
gonna be marketed way more.
That's
than
true.
that
This
was.
movie was probably like really cheap.
This movie, my
because
guess
it's
is-
Illumination.
Let's see. I want to know how much Minions 2 cost. My guess is probably around there. So Minions 2 cost $80 million.
How much was
So Detective Pikachu almost cost 2 times as much as Minions 2 to make. My guess is it'll cost
what
a little bit
was
more.
Illumination's biggest movie? Because it's probably
Minions.
more than no. I mean budget wise.
Bit like budget.
Yeah. What was their most
Um,
expensive movie to make? Because I bet you it's more than that. This is probably their biggest budget movie ever. I don't see a world where this isn't their biggest budgeted movie. So it's probably
I
more
wanna
than whatever
see if I
the
can
most
find
is.
budgets. That's gonna be probably. So I'm gonna have to dig through these individually.
I'm thinking maybe Despicable Me 2.
So Minions cost 80. Minions 2 cost 80. Sing 2 cost 85. Secret Life of Pets cost 80. Grinch cost 75. So that was their cheapest. Despicable Me 3 cost 80. Sing cost 75. I don't think any of theirs have crossed 85.
Okay, so I'm thinking 90 million for that. Let's say
Minions-
Nintendo
Yeah, I
Nintendo
don't-
kicks them another 5
I think
mil.
85 is the most expensive they made.
Let's say Nintendo kicks them another
Yeah.
5 mil. Kicks another 5 mil their way. It's Nintendo.
Funny joke.
They got the big wallets.
Just real quick, the first Despicable Me. You want to know what the budget was, Sam?
420 million.
69.
And let's go. But let's say the budget's 90 million. That sounds compared to the other movies
Yeah,
they
because
made.
it's going to cost a little bit more because Nintendo's going to want to throw.
Nintendo's going to want a little
polish.
polish. Yeah, they want to pay for the extra shine.
Yeah.
This movie's probably going to make
It'll make like
opening weekend. I see it making like 500 million opening weekend.
worldwide,
Sure.
500 million worldwide.
But I think it'll make movie. I think it'll make money for a while.
So
I don't think it's going to have an explosive
Minions
launch.
2 did 107 in its opening weekend domestic, and that was also pushed by a giant meme where everyone went to
true.
go see it in suits.
People who were way outside the target demographic
Yeah.
for that movie ended up going to see it in droves.
But I feel like those people will see this movie unironically
yeah, because they just like
because they
Mario.
just like Mario, and that's it.
This one appeals to a much broader audience.
I'll adjust my one. This movie's gonna make money because it's not gonna cost that much. It's gonna make at least 400
It'll
million.
make buttloads of
but
money.
like bottom of the barrel, like everything goes wrong, it'll make $400 million worldwide.
If
That's like
everything, worst case
the
scenario.
worst case scenario. Best case scenario is it crosses $1 billion. I think if it is bad, it'll probably do like 600, 700.
I see.
If it is pretty good, it'll do 800 to 900. It'll come short of $1 billion. If it is actually a good movie that people like give good reviews to, it will easily cross $1 billion.
I see this movie doing 300 million opening weekend
Worldwide,
globally. Yeah, worldwide.
that's realistic, I guess.
I see it making.
Well, the other question is, will it open in China?
I don't see why it wouldn't. Mario is one of the only games that they're allowed to play on the
From
Switch.
Japan.
but it's from America though.
True.
So
I think Minions did.
Minions. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because the whole second half takes place in. Well, no, it took place in Japan, didn't it?
No, it was in Chinatown.
It wasn't China.
No, it was in Chinatown.
It's vaguely
Because
China
they're in
themed.
San Francisco.
Yeah, there was a Chinese parade going on.
Kung Fu or whatever.
Yeah, they learned kung fu for some reason. 'Cause that's what the Minions directors know about China. Anyway, if it releases in China, I see on the high end 800 million to $1 billion. If it does okay, if it's like not a big huge deal, I see it around 700 million, maybe 750-ish. If it's a poo-poo doo-doo stinker, I see it around 600.
Yeah, again, like
Either way, it makes $1 bajillion
It's
million
gonna make-
dollars.
a couple $100 million in profit.
No matter what.
No matter what. And I think what you're really gonna gauge it on is the amount of marketing going into release.
How much money does
Because
this...
it's pretty light right now, but around April is when around March and February is when you really see it kind of pour in. And however much it's getting there is really when we'll see how much the interest actually is.
How much money does this have to make for them to make a Zelda movie? I think 1.2 billion.
Like $1 billion to make a Zelda
I think
movie?
1.2 billion gets us a Zelda movie.
I feel like it's going to be a little bit less than that.
Oh, they don't like making Zelda things.
They don't, but they like money.
They really hate making Zelda things.
They opened that studio just to do their film and TV projects, and they're going to have to do something other
They
than
gotta
just
do
this.
something.
So, my guess is they'll do a cartoon show.
Didn't they make a CGI Pokemon movie? Yeah, they redid Mewtwo.
They redid Mewtwo, but that was, I think, only in Japan.
Yeah. No, it released in
It came out
America.
here on Netflix, but I think it released in theaters.
Yeah, it wasn't theatrical here.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Pikachu did good, and then they just never made, and they never.
I don't think they were really planning on making more of those.
Well, they announced like 3 spin-offs before it came out, and then none of them got
did
made.
when.
But before it came out, they were like, "We're gonna do a Mewtwo movie, and we're gonna do Pokemon Red and Blue." And
I remember.
we're gonna
Yeah, I remember they said they were gonna do a red movie.
Yeah.
Those are probably still in the works. Pokemon is one of those companies that doesn't really like to announce stuff until it's really close to coming out.
I feel like that would.
Except Pokemon Sleep. What's that? Still don't know what that is. They announced that in 2015. The heck's Pokemon Sleep? Nintendo. What was that? Anyway,
That's. I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird situation.
it's a weird movie.
Also,
We're really gonna have to wait and see. I
Why
think.
did Detective Pikachu? Why was that the first one you did?
Yeah, out of everything. Out of every Pokemon IP they had. Okay, imagine if they had made just a straight up Pokemon movie
Yeah.
with Ash or Red or one
No,
of
they
the
just did
guys.
Pokemon Origins, but in live action.
Pokemon Origins live action. That would have made $1 billion. Easy.
In 2019, probably.
Instead, they were like, what's our worst selling Pokemon game?
I'm
Detective Pikachu?
I'm pretty sure they really only.
Give it $1 million.
I think they only really made it because Pikachu talks, and they wanted a Pokemon to talk in it.
I think the studio executives said they have to talk.
Yeah, they were like, we cannot make a Pokemon where the Pokemon ain't doing a talk, so we got to make the thing where the Pikachu talks the whole time, and we're gonna get Ryan Reynolds to do it.
Now, it really... Detective Pikachu 2 only came out in Japan.
The game, yeah.
What metric did they see? Where they were like, yes, this.
I don't know.
This is the one.
I mean, the Pokemon company is just filled with baffling decisions.
I will never understand how that company
Now, the other
operates.
two
All right, moving on. Let's
big
move
things
on.
are Renfield and Evil Dead for this month.
Renfield will make
Renfield on
nothing.
April 14th. That's not going to do very well.
No, that's a direct-to-DVD movie. That's like a
People
Netflix
think
movie.
it sucks already, so no one's going to care.
It looks goofy, but I don't see it making any money.
it looks like a Netflix thing.
Yeah.
Evil Dead Rise. Depends on how cheap it is.
Oh, Suzume might actually be big.
Care.
That's
It's not going to make.
This is one that you remember.
I remember your name,
It's the same guy, so it might actually. And
but it's not going to get.
it's had a
released.
lot of marketing
It's not going
too.
to get a wide release.
Right. I mean, the other one made a lot of money
Last
without a
one
wide
didn't.
release
Why would this one do it?
because that one made a lot of money.
How much? What was this last one? Weathering with You.
Weathering with You, but that one didn't make as much money because that one did not get.
Weathering with You box office. It made.
It was really big in Japan, but that doesn't really matter. the US, anyways.
193.8 worldwide dollars.
Dude, what was Your Name? That was his big
Name
booty buster movie.
did 380.
Yeah, so not a lot, but it's enough to get noticed.
It could do okay everywhere else but here. All right.
Yeah.
And then Evil Dead. I'm rooting for this. Love me some Evil Dead. Sam Raimi is barely involved.
Oh, no, okay.
He's just kind of stamping his name on this one. But this was another HBO Max movie that
Is getting movied.
a theater release. So
A lot of those this year.
my guess is it's also pretty cheap. So we'll see what happens. They did a trailer and I never watched it because I just forgot about it.
You there, God? It's me, Margaret.
It's based off a
what
Judy
is this?
Bloom book
What is
that was really controversial in the 80s
Oh, wow,
because it's
man.
about puberty.
You know what it took to be controversial in the 80s? Nothing. You could do
Literally anything.
You could do anything. You could just walk outside wearing the wrong color shoes and you get burned alive by the town.
Or just like play Duck Hunt.
Or Pokemon.
That was in the
Remember
90s.
when they said
That was in the 90s.
yeah, but same thing. Same general sentiment.
Imagine it's funny now that like there were so many things that were randomly controversial in the 80s.
For no reason.
And they didn't even have the internet. There was no outlet for people to just yell about everything. Now everything's controversial because everyone just yells about everything all the time. Like back then,
like
there was no platform and someone was still
Someone
mad
was
about
still getting
this
mad.
for no
Yeah.
reason.
like your local news anchor would be like, mattresses, they're blue now. Satan is coming. Like, just the most
The
off
demons are coming in and the Beanie Babies. It's like just weird crap.
All right, okay, Steve.
Let's move on to the next month.
You don't want to talk about Heart of a Lion?
Don't know what it is. Don't
Me
care.
neither. Nope, my Mac says no. Okay, here we
Just
go.
telling you no.
Next. All right.
May and June.
May and
Okay.
June. We
Now
got
it's-
some heavy
We
hitters.
come into the summer movies. So
some big boys over here.
let's get into it.
Big beefy boys.
In May, the summer kicks off officially first weekend in May, as it does every year with a Marvel release.
With
this
a
one,
big one.
It's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
The only Marvel movie I am excited for.
This will make more than the other two this year. It will be a hit. We'll see how much of a hit. The last two did around 700, 800 million. We'll see how this one does. I think it'll depend on how good it is.
It's giving biggest movie of the year.
That's a little far from me.
What else is coming out that competes with Guardians of the
Well,
Galaxy?
we'll get to it, but I feel like just because the last two didn't do incredible.
But the last two came out before
So-
Infinity War.
Guardians 1 did 773.
That's a big movie.
Volume 2 did do more. It did 863, and it had the same date.
Big movie. That's the kind of numbers we were throwing around for Mario.
Now, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever,
Out last year.
which Black Panther 1 was a much bigger hit than either of the Guardians were.
That's true.
Black Panther 2
But it was also the biggest single.
only did 831. So I feel like this one will probably also do around 800. I think it'll probably actually end up doing less than Volume 2.
I don't think so.
But I don't feel that's like its fault. The box office has just changed. Movies just don't make as much in theaters as they used to.
I think now that Avatar's come out, I think everyone is like, okay, movie's good now.
I feel
Go
like
back to
there will
movie.
be now.
I think now that Avatar 2's come out, everyone is go back to movie time now.
We don't have
hang
time.
on, let me finish. I think Mario is going to be another big, heavy swinger, getting a lot of people, getting a lot of butts in seats. I think the only real competition for Guardians in terms of box office this year is Mario.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
the Guardians of the Galaxy at this point are almost on the same level as the Avengers in terms of like character notoriety. Everyone knows them. They were almost half of the whole Infinity War Endgame saga.
yeah.
And I mean Thor was one of them off screen, be it for like a while too. Like they're big names and it's a team. That's a superhero team. People forget that is a team movie.
Yeah, I feel like there'll be a lot of eyes on this one. Not only from your usual MCU crowd, but also it's kicking off the summer. Got the best date out of all of them. It's the third movie in a trilogy.
And James Gunn is also blown up in terms
There's
of
going to be
popularity
huge
since then.
eyes from DC fans
Yeah.
because it's James Gunn. So we were gonna do this at the end, but this is my most anticipated movie of the year by far.
I think so too.
I love the Guardians movies. I love all the stuff James Gunn does. I'm really excited for this. It's my only Marvel movie I care about.
Now let's talk
and
about
then I won't care.
let's
But
talk about some real big boys.
I think
Book Club 2, the next chapter. Thoughts?
I think that'll actually probably make.
Yeah, I think it's winning.
I'm not joking.
What is Book Club 2?
They played the trick. I don't remember what we were seeing.
I remember seeing
I think
the
it
trailer.
was the Fablemans.
Yeah, I think so.
We went to see the Fablemans, and they played the trailer for 80 for Brady
Yeah.
and Book Club 2, and they're the same movie. It's 4 old ladies.
Old ladies, all
I'm
Oscar
pretty
nominated.
sure 2 of them are. I think one of them is in both movies. I think
Yeah.
Jane Fonda's in both. But the premise of both is that they all go on a trip to somewhere, and just hijinks ensues. That's it. It's just 4 old ladies get into mischief.
Are we spawning a new genre of like 4 old ladies go to a place and do a weird thing? Is that a new genre?
No, because neither one of these movies is going to be a big hit. I think 80
No,
for...
but they're cheap.
No, 80 for Brady I think probably cost more because they got all the football people in it, and Tom Brady made it like a thing.
But a football star is cheaper than a movie star.
Book Club 2, my guess, was probably much cheaper than 80 for Brady is.
I
feel like if this makes like 20 million, it'll probably be a hit.
I think going forward for the next like 3 or 4 years, every year we'll get a 4 old ladies do a weird thing movie.
This is coming out 5 years after the last one, which came out in 2018. If anyone even remembers it.
I didn't even know that there was a movie called Book Club.
The first one cost 14 million. This one, and it made 104 million.
That's a lot of money.
So you can see why they got a sequel. So,
all right, next thing, actual big movie.
Fast X
Part 1.
Oh my god.
Part 1 of the conclusion
of the
Fast series
saga
thing.
Vin Diesel has completely taken control.
If it wasn't about family before, it sure as heck is about family now.
Obviously, Justin Lin had to quit because he hated working with Vin Diesel. He's been replaced by Louis Leterrier.
There was that week on Instagram where he was really begging The Rock to come back. That was weird.
That was The Rock is not coming back
He's
because
not.
they had a big falling out.
I think for Fast X Part 2, I think The Rock might come back.
I don't think he is. He said he's not coming back, and they hate each other so much.
But do they though? Like really?
To replace him, they've added to the cast Brie Larson,
He was in the
Jason
last one, right?
Momoa,
That's a big dude.
and
Remember
Danielle Melchior,
remember when
and
Jason-
Alan Richardson.
Remember when Jason Momoa played horseback barbarian?
Oh, and at the end of the movie,
Guy.
it's going to turn out that Gal Gadot's character is alive.
Remember when he played man who has sex with Daenerys on
Who?
Game of Thrones?
Oh, Jason Momoa?
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, I guess.
He was in like one season and he died of like an infection.
I don't see what that has to do with the 10th Fast and Furious film, but
He's gonna
okay.
do the same thing. Instead of a
With
car,
Daenerys Targaryen?
she's gonna be that too. Instead of a car, he's gonna drive a horse. He's gonna be the only one who's like he drives horses.
This movie cost more than 340 million to make, plus marketing.
It's gonna make that money back though.
Will it?
How much did freaking the last one make?
F9, which came out in 2021, during one of like the
During
slumps
the
of COVID,
grand the recession of movies?
did 726,
That's big money.
but that cost 200, and
That-
this cost 180 million dollars more.
Even if that one
And
had
that's
the
just what they're saying the budget is. The budget is more than that.
even if the last one had the budget of this one,
Yep.
it would still have made a bunch of money. And it released in a pre-Avatar, post-COVID universe.
The last one had this budget, and it made the same amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
it would have not made money. It would have lost money.
No, it's 300 million,
No, not just 300 million.
300 whatever million.
340. So if you put 340 in a calculator,
Uh-huh.
by twice,
Hmm.
that's $680 million.
Still made 100 million.
Now, it would have made, if it cost exactly that much, it would have made like $60 million.
That's still $60 million.
That's just, but this did not cost $340 million. It cost more than $340 million. Everyone is
yes,
saying,
you already multiplied it
this
times
has been
two.
balloon, but you have to do that for every movie to account for marketing and reshoots and everything else,
Yeah.
and the cut with the theaters. So,
If you multiply that one times two, you still
but
make money.
This probably cost closer to $400 million. Right? Everyone's account.
We already times it by 2.
But the last one only did 700. So if this costs somewhere around $400 million plus marketing, it's going to need about $800 million to break even.
Okay. Also, this is the biggest
And
action
it's gonna-
franchise ever.
It's going to need to release in China.
This is the biggest action franchise ever. Zero COVID is over in China. They can go to theaters now. This movie
Didn't they go into lockdown like a week ago?
No, they're back. They're back to normal. I think like one city did. But they're for the most part they're back to normal as far as the CCP has informed us.
Hail to the government.
Right. Okay. COVID's over. COVID was a big thing when that one came out. That was still a big thing. We might have forgotten. That was still a big thing when the last one came
It was in a sort of a slump, but yeah, it was still a thing.
This is releasing no COVID. Huge movie.
Actually, Sam, there is still COVID. There's a new variant out there you need to worry about.
Yeah, the freaking xenomorph variant. Who cares? The point is, this will make money.
It will make money. The question is, enough money.
As long as it breaks even, this franchise has enough backbone that it will get its last chapter.
Well, it's already going to get the next one.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's safe. It's not in danger of anything. This movie will make everyone will go see this movie.
What happens.
Even if the movie doesn't make money, everyone will go see it. It will be a very
God, is there
big
any
movie.
interest left in this series at all?
Yes.
Does anybody care?
I
Who is seeing these movies?
I talked to Nick. I was talking to Nick earlier today, and I was like, today we're talking about all the movies that are coming out. And then we looked through some of the list, and he goes, oh, Fast X is coming out this year? Oh, I'm so excited.
like serious?
Yes. Do you know what happened when Fast 9 came out?
Did you get real hype?
All of us went to go see it together. All the boys went to go see it. You know who else is going to go see this movie?
All the boys.
Everybody else's all the boys are going to go see this movie.
And they added more hot people.
And they added Brie Larson
And
and
Gal Gadot's
Jason
coming
Momoa.
back.
Now all the girls can go see it too.
And Gal Gadot's coming back.
And Gal Gadot's coming back, and
Even
she's
though
bigger
she
than ever.
fell out of an airplane?
And she's bigger than ever right now.
How did she...
Oh, please. Let's not act like crashing planes is some bit. How many
No, they
planes?
didn't crash. She fell out the door of an airplane with no parachute.
Like, was the plane already taken off?
Yes!
Like, how high was it?
Pretty
Where'd she
high.
land?
High enough where you would splat into a bloody pile.
Well, obviously not, because she didn't splat.
Well, obvious, but Han got beat in the head with a crowbar or whatever, and he's... That's the other problem. If nobody dies, what are the stakes?
Oh, you mean in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like Gal Gadot in real
No,
life.
Gal Gadot did not fall out of an airplane.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, what are you talking about?
No, her character in I think she died in the 6th one. She fell out of it. She flew out the side of an airplane, going really just I was already in the air, and she just everyone was like, she's dead now.
No one cares if characters die in this movie. I bet you 90% of the fans can't even name more than 2 characters.
Sam, Dom Toretto,
That's one.
and his brother, Other Toretto.
Yeah, wow. You know one character's name.
Remember in the last one
When they gave him a brother
where it's revealed he had a brother
the whole time?
and you know
And
the
it's
brothers,
John Cena, a man who is a different race.
they just spray tan them the same color.
And they made them both vaguely Mexican, even though I don't think they were Mexican before.
No, Vin Diesel was, but John Cena's super
John
white.
Cena's the whitest guy. So good movies.
Coming back for this one.
Anyway, speaking of
Jacob Toretto. Jacob with a K.
characters whose races have changed, The Little Mermaid also coming out this month.
Correct. I think that'll do pretty good.
What did the last animated to live action one do?
So the last big one, I guess,
do the same.
was The Lion King, but that
Okay,
did
never mind. It won't
incredibly
do the
well.
same. What's the one before that?
I guess the one this is probably most comparable to is Beauty and the Beast.
What had that do?
That did $1 billion.
What?
Yeah.
That did $1 billion? Oh, okay. Well, that was their only. Okay, Beauty and the Beast is actually also kind of in another tier, like Disney, because it was it was Oscar.
Yeah,
it was
that
an
one
Oscar
did $1
winner.
billion. And it did not get very positive reception. So my guess is this one probably won't either, because it's going to be drab.
I don't see this one making $1 billion.
drab
though.
and dark. I don't think it'll make $1 billion either. But this one's going to be drab and dark, and
Actually, you know what? No,
all
this
the
one is going to make $1
cartoon
billion.
Characters will be realistic looking.
I'm calling it now. For some reason, for some
Lin-Manuel Miranda's doing
for
the music.
some random reason, this movie will make $1 billion.
I don't think it will.
I think it will. Just like I think it just will.
I think this month is too packed.
That's true. It is a stacked. I think if they released it any other month, it'd make $1 billion.
I think it'll do,
Yeah, I think it'll do around 6.
and it's gonna be more expensive than that was because this is
All
CG.
CGI. Yeah. All right. Anyway,
Everyone's
next movie.
Yeah, whatever. I don't. Oh my!
I don't care enough.
You know what,
Spider-Verse.
Sam? You know the thing about the Little Mermaid
What about the Little Mermaid?
is, I just
don't care.
no. I know that it's just gonna be like people on the internet
Oh, the discourse is going to be terrible.
yelling about how Ariel's black, and I just don't.
The
care.
discourse is going to be so annoying.
Just please stop.
Guys, it's a mermaid.
It doesn't matter.
They're not real. Guess what doesn't matter? Who cares if her skin's another color?
Literally,
It doesn't matter at
It's
all.
also one. The original still exists.
Who
You can still watch it,
cares?
and it'll probably be a better movie. So, just I know that's what's coming. That's all I can see, and that's all anyone's going to talk about.
Here's
And
okay.
I think it's going to do less because that's going to be the discourse around it. Is no one's going to be talking about what the quality of the movie is. It'll just be idiots with Zoom call, with webcams, right?
Mm-hmm.
With their action figures in the background, with their Twitter page open and their 12-minute video, where all they do is just scream about how it's woke, and then mention 6 times, like under their breath, that they didn't actually see the movie. But they'll just complain about how woke it is,
Here's what I think
and
is
that'll
going
be
to
the
happen.
whole thing. And then the other side will be yelling about how they're dumb, and then they'll be yelling back about how it's
Here's-
woke and brainwashing.
Hang on.
children.
I don't think it's going to be that extreme. I
It
think
already was when the trailer came out.
but I think people are done now. I think people are worn out with that. I think here's what's going to happen.
What if one of the characters
no,
is
hang on.
gay, Sam?
There's always one character.
No,
The
But
first.
then they're gonna yell about that.
Do you know how many first? Do you know how many first gay characters Disney's had?
They've had like 4
They've
in
had
the
more
past
first
year.
gay characters than anyone, and most people only have one because it's the first. Anyway, let me finish what I was going to say. I think no one will talk about this movie. I think the discourse has already been done. I think a lot of articles will be made about how people didn't see it because racism or whatever. But I think
if it even remotely
no.
underperforms, that'll be
hang on.
every
I'm not done. I think they will say that, but I think no one will actually care. I think the movie will do fine.
Yeah,
I don't think it will underperform even. I think it'll do fine.
it's a Disney movie coming out for Memorial Day weekend, and kids can see it. It'll do perfectly fine.
And I think the discourse will be about the discourse. I think the discourse will be about people saying how nasty the discourse is, even though no one's talking about it. I think that's what's going to happen. I think everyone's going to be like, everyone has been screaming and yelling. Meanwhile, everyone is actually not caring because it is a Disney princess movie.
Oh, yeah. All I'm picturing in my head is a thumbnail of Ariel in this film
Just don't go on the Quarterings
with
YouTube channel.
Photoshop tears in her eyes and a big chart with a down arrow.
No, it'll be a big money
And it
logo and a
says
no sign.
The Little Mermaid sinks, get woke, go broke.
Yeah.
And Brie Larson on it.
And Brie Larson will be there
Brie
too.
Larson has to be on it.
Always is there.
That'll be the same if Fast X.
If you guys don't know who the Quartering is, don't look him up.
That's all. No, but it's not just. It's like there's like 15 of them.
It's like his little squad. They
There's
have like a.
They all just like coexist in like the worst movie corner.
There's
of
like
the
a group
internet.
of like 9 guys
yeah.
who just scroll.
That's all. That's it.
They
That's
scroll
all
through their
they do.
Twitters and they complain about how woke movies that no one cares about
and
are.
people pay them to do it.
It's a good system. All right.
You know what? They found a grift. They found a way to make cash.
They found them. They're
that
just
requires zero thought.
in
or
the
effort.
in the words of a very wise man named Brendan. They're just trying to make it out here in America.
There's a sucker born every minute.
That
Sam.
also. Anyway, continuing.
Now let's get to June, where some good stuff comes out.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! June 2nd.
Good movie. Gonna be
Won't
good movie.
make any money.
Spider-Verse won't make any money?
I think it'll maybe break even. I don't
Are
think it'll do
you
very good.
what?
The first one didn't do great. Second one is coming out
But the first one,
in the at the very start of the summer, which I feel like is a little crowded.
But the first one had to introduce people to Miles Morales. He was
That's
not
true.
a popular character until that
and
movie came
also
out.
did get a large following once it came out on Netflix. So
Also, the entire animation landscape has changed because of this movie.
Yeah, because of how good it was.
I think now that it's had time to resonate in the cultural zeitgeist, I think this movie's gonna do good.
But it has two big things going for it, which is that Spider-Man's on top of the world right now.
Spider-Man is big
He's huge
right now.
and it had a lot of when it was on Netflix for a couple of years. It had a lot of people watched it.
A lot of hype,
It was in the top 10 movies watched on Netflix like every week for like a year.
and it's a phenomenal
Now,
movie.
and
It is in my brain. It is tied with No Way Home for best Spider-Man movie.
I think the question will be: is the people who watched it on Netflix going to go and pay and see this one in the theater, or are they just going to wait for it to come to Netflix again? Which is pretty much the question with every movie coming out.
I think they'll see it in theaters. I think this movie has much more hype now than it did when it first came out.
Much more than Into the Spider-Verse did, by far.
Absolutely.
And that there's any anticipation for it at all.
I think this will at least break even. I don't see this one not breaking
I
even.
don't see it bombing. My question is will that audience pay to see a movie that they watched on Netflix 5 times?
Yes, they will.
All right. Moving
All
on.
right.
I don't know what Craze is. I think it's like an animated thing.
Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
Transformers Rise of the Beast, bomb. I don't think it's going to make money. I really don't. I don't. You know what? Even if it's good, I don't think it will. Because people are burned on this franchise and they don't care.
Here's the thing, though. If we're getting one critical fact, we're getting one
And most people
big.
And most people don't know what Beast Wars is. So that's not going to
No,
solve
but
the
that's
problem.
okay. That's okay because people don't know what Rise of the Moon is either.
Dark of them.
Whatever. My point is the subtitles don't matter. But
I don't talk about the subtitles.
you're forgetting one massive critical factor here. No. Big Monkey.
I'm sold.
Big Monkey.
Big Monkey make money
Franchises live and die
on Big Monkey.
on Big Monkey. And this time, Big Monkey and
Is-
Optimus Prime.
And Big Robot. True. How much movie is Big Monkey in?
Probably most of it.
That's the question.
I mean, he's like the main
It's
character.
got to have a sufficient amount of Big Monkey.
I think the meme factor alone.
I don't know. Is there memes? The
Not
trailer
yet.
came out and no one cared.
Not yet. Give it time, though. Because you know what else has been happening recently?
What's that?
Transformers memes are
Are they
going up.
popping up?
They've been going up. I've been on TikTok. I've been scrolling. I'd be seeing people taking Optimus Prime saying something and like saying like me and the boys about to take a big duker at 3 a.m. and Optimus Prime is like, Autobots, it is our duty to defend this toilet. Or whatever. You get the idea. It's Transformers memes are on the rise.
That's true.
The charts are going up. We got a movie about to come out with a gorilla
Well,
Optimus Prime.
6 months from now. And it's sustained.
But they're just starting to go up. They're bumping up right now.
Showing signs of life.
It's showing signs of life. So the memes,
and
pulsing. There's life.
the biggest thing it has going for it is that it's not Michael Bay.
Okay. So it's not Michael Bay. The pulse is going. We thought it was dead. It's alive. And Big Monkey.
Monkey, sure.
I see this one. This one will. I think it will make money. I don't think it'll make a ton of money, but I think it will make money.
I just see it bombing because I just see there just being no interest.
Tell me, do you remember why the Transformers are still a brand today?
Yeah.
No. Why they didn't die in the 80s?
Alja?
No.
Big robot shoot big laser?
You're getting close. A little show came out. 90s. First show ever animated with computer graphics. Call the name of that show. Transformers Beast. Now,
And who cares?
Transformers is in its biggest slump ever. Perhaps since the 80s even.
Probably. Since that movie where they killed off all the characters, everyone like.
So who can save them? Who's strong enough? Is there a man out there, a Transformer lost to time, strong enough to bring everyone back? Optimus. Big.
I think you're just excited about Big Monkey.
No, but I think that this movie does have, because of the history of Transformers and the things that get people to watch Transformers, for whatever reason, I think this movie will do well. Beast Wars is the reason why we have Transformers as a brand today. As much as we don't remember it because it was before our time, that show,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
that show was actually several orders of magnitude more popular than the original 80s show. It's not as timeless because it was CGI animated, so you can't really go back and watch it today. But it was more important to Transformers than arguably any other piece of Transformers media they've made in terms of keeping it alive as a brand.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, again, I don't care.
Because even if the Michael Bay
Everyone
movies,
I talk to doesn't care.
even if the Michael Bay movies never existed, Transformers would live on in cartoons. The brand
Probably.
wouldn't have died. Those movies are not what makes Transformers sustainable. It's the concept of, oh, I can buy a robot and he turns into a car. And now the robot turned into a monkey. And kids like monkeys.
My question, I think this is a pretty big mystery box. I don't know what's going to happen. Bumblebee was good,
But no one
but
saw
no
it.
one saw it. And
All the other ones are bad. And everyone saw them.
it's an
So-
anomaly.
This is the first non-Bumblebee, like non-nostalgia-y one.
This one's in the 90s.
It's set in the 90s, but it's not like... Is it a prequel to the other ones? Is it in the same universe?
It's a reboot.
It's
It's in
a
the same
reboot?
universe as Bumblebee,
Okay.
but it's a reboot of the Bay ones.
Is Michael Bay involved? The producer?
No, I don't think so.
I think this movie will do fine. Also, Hasbro has infinity money.
That's true. Especially since they just took all your OC Dungeons and Dragons characters.
Yeah. Alrighty. Next thing, The Blackening.
I don't
What's
know what
that?
that is. Pixar's Elemental on June 16th.
Ooh.
If this one is a actually good kids film, I think it could make some money.
I think this is Pixar's last stand.
You gamble. No, you know what
I
they're-
think if this movie doesn't make money, Pixar ends.
that's a little extreme.
I think they're rolled into Disney Animation and we don't see any more Pixar movies.
That's a weird take.
How many Pixar movies in the last 5 years have made money?
Well, 3 of them went to Disney Plus.
Exactly. And what happened when they took them off Disney Plus and sent them out into the world?
Well, the one that did not do well.
Uh-huh.
It was also not well received.
But it was also their biggest IP was Toy Story.
Yeah, but also it wasn't really, because it was like a different thing.
It was close enough to Toy Story to sell toys.
I think Lightyear flopped for a lot of reasons. I don't think you can just be like, nobody cares about Pixar anymore.
No, that's not my point. My point is, do the studio executives see it that way?
No,
Of course not.
because that doesn't make any logical sense at all.
They see Buzz Lightyear was...
Sam, Strange World flopped hard. You think they're just going to close Disney Animation tomorrow?
No, but they've had other movies do very well in the theaters in the
Not
last
in the
couple
past 2 years, they haven't.
years. Yeah, but that's 2 years. Pixar hasn't made a profitable movie in
When all the
half a
Pixar
decade.
movies been coming out.
Every
Their
movie...
last theatrical release made $1 billion. They're like before Lightyear. The one they made before that made $1 billion.
Yeah, but that was a long
If you
time
don't
ago.
count Onward, which came out literally the week that COVID broke out.
Exactly. So we have 2 theatrical flops from Pixar.
Okay, but that is not Onward's fault. You cannot blame.
But they don't care. They just see that when we release Pixar movie in theater, number go down. When movie go to theater, number go down.
Sam, you know they have a calendar and they can look at when it came out, right?
But that doesn't... Other brands have been cut off because of
Do you
COVID
think
release
people
numbers.
looked at like Trolls World Tour or I can't think of any movies. Do you think like people saw a movie that released in 2020 and go, nobody saw it, so therefore it was a total bomb?
But it's not just one movie.
It's 2.
It's 2, and all the ones that they've released on Disney Plus were very popular.
Yeah.
So,
So people still want to watch it.
but that means that what I think
So
that,
no,
I think they're gonna take Pixar and make them the Disney Plus studio.
but that doesn't mean they would dissolve the studio.
No, I'm not saying they'll dissolve
Pixar.
them, but I think this is their last chance to prove that they are a theatrical studio.
If they have to have a last chance, I don't think it's this one. I think it's Inside Out 2. because that's an actual brand. They would gamble it on a brand movie that people are familiar with, and not like this random weird romance with no like big name stars in it.
No, but I think this is, if this one doesn't do well in theaters, I think Pixar might become the Disney Plus exclusive movie.
That's definitely in contention.
studio.
I don't think it's dependent on this.
And you just said
I
like
think it's dependent on this one and Inside
they
Out
want to
too.
bet it on a brand, right?
Yeah,
Toy Story is their biggest brand.
that is true. But Lightyear had bad reviews. It was a terrible movie to take your kids to, and also nobody really knew what it was. The general public had no idea what it was.
The general public knows who Buzz Lightyear
But
is.
it wasn't about Buzz Lightyear. It was about like a weird version of Buzz Lightyear
But
who's
it doesn't-
realistic and looks like
It doesn't actually have to be about him. It just has to have his name on it.
But again, people didn't know what that was.
And say like Toy Story 4, that didn't do super well either.
Toy Story 4 made $1 billion.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it wasn't as big of a deal as the other
It
ones
made
were.
more than the third one did. It made the most out of all 4 of them.
Well, that's because of stupid.
So yeah. So I think I think you're right. They are being pushed to be the
I
Disney
think they're
Plus
on the cusp of
studio.
Disney Plusing.
I think they will bet that factor on Inside Out 2, which is a sequel to a movie that is like a proven quantity.
Yeah.
Lightyear was something weird they tried when they didn't really know how to sell it, and it was a bad movie from a conceptual basis, and the general public was confused.
No,
by
see,
its
the thing is,
existence.
it wasn't even conceptually bad. Like, we've seen Buzz
What
Lightyear
if we
solo
made
projects
depressing
work.
Interstellar with Buzz Lightyear?
No. I don't mean the concept that they went with. I mean the concept of a Buzz Lightyear movie.
True, if it was about the character Buzz Lightyear we know from 4 Toy
That's what
Story
I'm
movies,
saying.
not a different
The
character.
concept of Buzz Lightyear as a character that can stand on his own and is an interesting enough
It's not a bad idea.
person.
You're
Yeah.
correct. But
That-
it was not the same Buzz Lightyear, which is the problem.
Yeah, I know. They messed it up. They did it wrong. But the concept is strong. The concept wasn't the issue.
The ending of the movie Lightyear is what the movie Lightyear should have been, which is like him and his buddies on wacky
On space
in
adventures.
space,
No, what the
shooting lasers
movie
at
should have been
aliens.
is what the 2000s cartoon was.
Yes. They should
Yeah.
have just made that in 3D and it probably would have made money.
It would have been so much better.
The
but
problem is
instead
they were like, what if we did a weird time?
what if we do Interstellar for babies?
What if Buzz Lightyear's friends all died of old age
and he never
was
goes to any other
depressed,
planets and he's stuck on Glibnar 9
and he just shoots like one laser at a little robot
and he like kind of looks like Buzz Lightyear a little bit.
and he doesn't sound like him at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a dumb idea. Elemental, whatever. The Flash, which comes out the same day on June 16th. Will it actually come out, Sam?
Will it come out,
this
on
time?
this day?
Give or take a week. That's mine.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it probably will. They need to get rid of it. They gotta.
They
dump it.
gotta shove it out the door. They're done.
James
messing
Gunn's gonna
around.
make them just push it out.
Yeah, who's Adele Lim?
Comedian.
Why is he making a movie?
I don't know.
All right. What's No
So
Hard
pretty
Feelings?
sure it's a
Is that a
women.
thing?
Don't know what that is. Harold and
Harold.
the Purple Crown. Nobody cares. It's gonna bomb.
Yeah. What? Hang on.
No, we don't have time. We really don't have time.
The story of the kid with
Oh
the
my
crayon
God.
who walks across the pages of the book and draws a balloon. Why did they think, yes, this is movie worthy? All right, moving on.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Big movie. Big boy movie. Big movie.
Okay, one, this is gonna be another people yelling about it's too woke because Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in it.
I think it will start off that way, but I think once they see the movie and realize that that's not at all what
If
the
that
movie's
isn't
about,
what it is.
it's not what it is.
It is Kathleen.
This is Top Gun Maverick.
It is our friend Kathleen.
Yeah, but this is Top Gun Maverick.
Is it though?
Yeah.
But it's not Tom Cruise.
No, but it's Harrison Ford.
It's 80 years old.
Harrison Ford cancels out Kathleen. Also,
It's the first one with no Spielberg.
it's also the first one in like 20
It's the
years.
first one with no George Lucas. He's old now. Last one, everyone hated. The Dial of Destiny. Nobody knows what that is.
But everyone knows Indiana Jones.
Knows Indiana. That's
And
what. it
guess
has
what
going
else
for it.
everyone knew? Top Gun. And guess what else
The
is a
famous character, Top Gun.
And guess what else is a franchise that was dead that no one thought had any legs? Top Gun. And guess who the main character of
It's
Top
not-
Gun
okay.
was? Old white guy. Guess who the main character of this one is? Old white guy.
Okay,
Guess
well,
who's gonna go see this movie?
It's gonna have to be as good as Top Gun Maverick was.
That's not difficult.
Oh, but he
That's
loves that
not
movie.
challenging.
It's their favorite movie ever.
It has a story, which was an improvement over the previous chapter.
Which had no story. This movie just has to be better than Indiana Jones 4 to justify its existence.
Which, again,
It's a low
is
bar.
not difficult
Yeah.
to achieve.
I like James Mangold as a director.
Yeah,
I like Harrison Ford when he cares.
and he does care.
And he loves
He's-
this role for some reason.
He is the biggest Indiana Jones fan.
So we'll see what happens. I think
this movie will do good.
I think it'll do fine. I don't think it'll do great. And
I'm seeing 600 million.
I'm just gonna hear people yell about it. But I'm not looking.
Just like
All right,
go to a different YouTube
we gotta
page.
take a quick break, or I gotta go take some allergy medicine.
Okay, I'm gonna pause. Oh. All right, we're back.
Hi, everybody. I took some flu medicines. Now we're good. I don't
All
have
right,
the flu, though.
continuing. Where were we? We just finished this page. We just talked about Indiana Jones.
Moving on to July.
Here, mouse. July through August. We got some heavy hitters here too.
True, it's still the summer.
Not as popular, but some heavy hitters.
Okay.
Starting things off
Insidious
mediocre.
5. So these are super cheap to
Mhm.
make. They're also usually pretty bad,
Mm-hmm.
but
But they keep making them.
they're horror films. Teenagers,
Oh, I got
Literally-
Cheez-Its while we were on break.
yeah. And teenagers will see literally any horror movie.
That is true.
Like they just like congregate.
It's
to
because
them.
you can take your girlfriend to go see it, and she'll like get scared, and so she'll turn to you, and so it's like it's an
But, like,
easy
it's not
win.
even that, they just like go. Like they don't
It's an easy move.
like they're so picky about everything else. But if the horror movie sucks balls, they'll just see it.
Oh. Oh.
Next is here, guys. Oh, go away.
All right, he's around. I continue.
They'll just see it. I don't know why.
They just do.
They just do. So it'll make money. Also, it's Patrick Wilson's directing it. So
Okay.
Good for him. Good
Yeah,
for
I
Patrick.
don't know who that is.
My boy Patrick Wilson.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. This will make a lot of
Mission
money.
Impossible Dead Reckoning.
This will
Part
make a
One.
lot of money because Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah,
made a ton
I
of
think
money.
he's gonna have a lot of momentum coming out of
Yeah,
that.
he's gonna have a big boy
and
come
apparently
back.
he's got multiple big stunts for this one.
2.
So
And the first one we've seen in the trailer is freaking nuts. Like jumps off a freaking cliff.
they
with a
don't have the
motorcycle.
whole cast back, but they have some additions, and it's gonna be
What are you looking for?
second to last one.
Just looking around.
Just digging
Okay.
around at 11:30 at night on a Wednesday, which is when we're recording this.
He has school
I'm
tomorrow.
I'm a fun day tomorrow, guys.
Oh please! I stayed up till like 2 a.m. every day.
So let's see.
Oh no. Oh no! You busy today? You had a big busy
Poor
day.
boy.
I woke up at 12. I'm on break still.
You are?
Yeah, I'm on break till next week.
Anyway, Tom Clementoff, Rob Delaney, Carrie Elwes, and I believe Haley Atwell are the big additions.
We were talking about Mission Impossible by the
Yeah.
way. If you got lost there.
So that's all right. I think again this will have a lot of momentum from Top Gun.
Yeah, and then next up is Barbie, which has an absurd amount of
Okay.
hype. For like
is
no
weird.
reason.
It's got meme hype.
It's got meme hype.
It's got an absurdly. Oh, just so you know, this month, if
Mhm.
you're an actor in Hollywood, you're in a movie that comes out this month.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, okay. I'm gonna find the list. And I'm gonna read you every single actor that appears in a movie this month. It'll be
Let's not do that.
No, because it's insane. Okay, it's literally Patrick Wilson, Rose Byrne, Tom Cruise, Simon Pegg, Vig Rhymes, Rebecca Ferguson, Vanessa Kirby, Haley Atwell, Tom Clementoff, Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Rami Malek, Florence Pugh, Benny Safdie, Josh Hartnett, Kenneth Branagh, Dane DeHaan, David Krumholtz, Alden Ehrenreich, Matthew Modine, Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Will Ferrell, Simu Liu, America Ferrera, Nakuta Gatwa, Emma Mackey, Michael Cera, Issa Rae,
The heck is Michael
Kate
Cera doing?
Kate McKinnon, Rhea Perlman, Brie Larson, Aman Vellani, Samuel L. Jackson.
All right, then. A lot of dudes.
So back to Barbie. So Barbie has meme hype. There's a lot of people who are seeing it because Barbie and because the trailer is weird.
the trailer is really weird.
I don't know if it's gonna be PG.
I don't know what the target demographic they're going for is.
I don't know. One, Barbie's not very big right now. It's been on the decline for a couple of years.
And I don't think this movie's really going to help much.
If it's Noah Baumbach wrote it with Greta Gerwig, who's directing.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, the script is really good.
Apparently, it's the people in Hollywood were calling it like the greatest script ever written. But
Which I doubt.
if it is not PG,
That will not matter.
it will bomb.
Yeah, it's a freaking... Well, okay, hang on.
Because
Hang on.
take your kids to it. It's gonna have a really specific target audience, and that's not gonna be big enough to make any money.
What in the 80s were Hasbro's two biggest respective gendered toys?
Transformers for boys, Barbie for girls.
Heh,
Well, actually, it might have been G.I. Joe for boys.
it wasn't. What was the rating for Transformers?
What?
Rating for Transformers. First one.
Rating
What was it rated?
PG-13.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see my point?
Yeah, you're saying like the grown-up girls now will go see this, like out of nostalgia for when they were kids.
Sure, maybe. My point is, Transformers survived with a PG-13 rating.
Yeah, but Transformers was like an action franchise. This is like a weird meta comedy.
Yes, but what is the first thing everyone does with a Barbie?
Does its hair?
No, they take their clothes off. You can't take a Barbie's clothes off in a PG movie.
I guess, but what? But what is that? What is a movie out of that? What is this? I don't know what this is.
The movie is Margot Robbie hot and also meta commentary on her being hot.
I don't know what this is gonna be. I don't know who it's for. I don't know what the plot is.
Well, the trailer was a reference to Planet of the Apes.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Or that, yeah, that.
But does 2001: A Space Odyssey came out in the 70s?
No, it's real big with little girls right now.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just that out of touch.
No, I really
sorry.
don't understand what this is.
1968 was when 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I really don't understand what they're going for with this.
I don't either. I don't know.
I think it will be good. Like, I actually think it'll be good.
Probably. I mean, I like the director,
but I
like the screenwriter.
I just don't know what it is.
I like Margot Robbie when she's in a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like Ryan Gosling. I like Will Ferrell. I like Simu Liu. I sometimes can stand Kate McKinnon and Michael Cera.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what this is gonna be or who it's for.
I think this is another dark horse. I think Transformers and Barbie are the dark horses this year.
You think Transformers is a dark horse?
Yeah, because
I don't think you can call Transformers a dark horse because there's been like 8 Transformers movies.
No, but I mean in terms of how it'll perform in the box office.
I feel like this and Mario are more of dark.
No, but Mario's gonna make money.
But so is Transformers, but the question is how much.
No, but Mario will make a lot of
Barbie
money.
is a complete wild card.
Yeah, Barbie is a total
Honestly,
shot in the dark.
Honestly, if I had to say another movie is a wild card, I think it's the movie that's coming out the same weekend, and that's all.
I don't know. You're missing another big one.
Is I know you're gonna do a dumb.
Coyote v. Acme.
That doesn't come out this year, by the way. That comes out.
Well, that's what the thing said.
But Oppenheimer, it's Christopher Nolan, who can still make a hit.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes out not in 2020, he can still make a hit. Also, Tenet made like $200 million.
And it wasn't even like
in August of 2020 when there were no
the
movie
middle of
open.
COVID.
It made 365 in September of 2020.
Total dead zone.
When there were like 50 movie theaters open nationwide with
Literally
25% capacity.
Dead zone.
So someone still saw that. Now,
here's how I know if a movie will make money is Nick will have heard of it. Nick wants to see Oppenheimer.
See?
And that's how you know it's going to make lots of money.
Because it's Christopher Nolan. Now, people are generally not that familiar with J. Robert Oppenheimer,
but people are familiar with Christopher Nolan, so it doesn't matter.
And they're familiar with this absurdly famous cast.
Yeah.
Like, they gave him $100 million to make a biopic, and he spent $80 million
of it on the cast.
On the cast, because it's insane. If you're a famous person, you're in this movie.
He spent $80 million of it on cast, and the other $20 million on making a nuclear bomb explosion.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna make money, but I don't know how much. We'll see what happens. I don't know. These two, I have no idea what's going on either of these two.
Yeah.
July is a mystery month because the next movie
The Marvels.
is The Marvels, and I think this will bomb. I don't think it's the last Marvel movie for the year. It comes out July 28th. There's
That's the last one for the year?
There's no November movie this year. They stop in July.
They have a big show coming out,
But
though.
they have like 9 TV shows coming out.
Yeah.
So you'll get your fix of McDonald's.
Your Coke addicts will get their Coke. not the Coke can,
Not this one.
the cocaine kind.
The cocaine kind.
But
Unlike Cocaine Bear.
the Marvels, I think, will do like average Marvel movie type.
It's not going to do close to what the first one did because the first one made $1 billion.
It'll do Ant-Man numbers.
Like the new Ant-Man or like
Yeah,
old Ant-Man?
I see them doing about the same.
Probably. Because Captain Marvel 1 made $1 billion, but it also came out sandwiched in between Infinity War and Endgame.
And also, it was like kind of critically panned, so it's going in against the goodwill of the public.
This is going to have the same amount of controversy, probably more. But
Now, when I was talking about how there's not going to be discourse about Little Mermaid,
there will be about this.
oh boy, will this movie have discourse!
Because it's got Brie
Oh
Larson.
good lord!
The
Not only
most hated woman.
not only do we have Brie Larson, who is everyone's least favorite white
we
woman,
also have a
but we have
black
two women of color. So the YouTube channels that hate it when minorities are in movies, they have Public Enemy #1 with two minorities as the supporting cast.
They have like their big calendar for the year, and this date is just circled in red.
They took a freaking lighter and they burned this day out of the count. They're like, this is D-Day. This is Doomsday
this
right
is
here.
Code Red. This is every
I'm uploading 20 videos per hour.
every gun is trained on this movie to fail.
So a little bit less superficial, ironic, whatever I was saying. This movie's going in with a lot of critical weight against it. There's a lot of
critics will probably be fairly positive to it.
I mean, like normal person critic, like the will of the will of the public is against it.
Yeah, some of them hate it just for existing. Some of them are just put off by that type of internet discourse and are tired of it and just will avoid it because of that.
Avoid it because of the discourse.
And the other people is Marvel fatigue. You'll have a lot of Marvel fatigue.
So there's the discourse, the weirdos who will boycott it. There's Marvel fatigue in general. There's the critical reception of the first one.
And then I spent all my money on Barbie.
And then I spent all my money on Barbie and Dead Reckoning. But the other characters that are not Miss Marvel, who is not a very popular character in
Miss Marvel, the show, did not do very well.
Oh no, I don't mean Miss Marvel. I mean
Captain
Oh my
Marvel.
gosh, Captain Marvel. They used to be the same character. They're different now, okay? I'm trying. I'm trying here, guys. But Captain Marvel is very few people's favorite Avenger. I will put it
My
that way.
guess is no one's.
She's above like Hawkeye, but she's below like Vision. So like she's not like batting 1,000 over here.
Jeez.
I'm not saying Vision's
Shot her
bad.
in the leg.
I'm not saying Vision's bad. I'm just saying like he's no one's favorite. He
Who
doesn't
likes
stand
Vision?
out. I like Vision's cool. I like Vision.
He's
He's just
not
not my
your
favorite.
favorite.
Exactly. He's no one's favorite. That's my point. Like people are like, oh yeah, I like Captain Marvel. She's cool, but she's no one's
Gosh.
favorite. Except like the
Except
people.
for she only been in 2 things, really. She's only really been in Captain Marvel and Endgame.
Except
still.
for like.
He's had like 3 cameos and
Except for her like little like cult of people that really like Brie Larson, she's
Yeah.
no one's really favorite Avenger.
She
right?
doesn't really have a personality like the character.
No, like
He's
Vision.
just kind of mean.
She's like Vision.
But Vision's like a computer. He's really analytical.
He's supposed to be
He's
personality.
blunt, right?
He's a robot man.
Yeah.
Brie Larson's a human.
Like okay,
or
just
not Brie Larson.
describe
Carol Danvers is a person.
Describe Vision.
He's a analytical robot AI created by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner for the sake of protecting the world.
And like he's learning how to love.
And
likes
he learns
Wanda.
how to be a man.
Yeah, right. Now describe Captain Marvel as a character.
Well,
Like her personality.
she was the best plane pilot.
No, not her backstory. Tell me what her personality is.
She likes her friends. She punch good.
Not a personality
It's not a
trait.
personality trait. Dang it. Cut her hair once. Yeah, she's not.
Mildly sarcastic.
She was rude to that guy. She stole that
She
guy's
beat up
motorcycle.
that guy for no reason. Well, for a reason, but a bad one.
A dumb reason. She's not the most fleshed out character.
And
Now,
not very likable.
I don't think that it's hopeless though. I think they could make her interesting if given the right circumstances.
If they get a good writer, the problem is the movie has 4
'Cause
credited screenwriters.
Let's be honest, the first Captain Marvel movie, I don't think they knew what to do with this
No,
character.
they didn't at
It
all.
came out at a bad time.
No idea.
It came out in between the 2 biggest Marvel movies ever,
Mhm.
which is the only reason it made as much money as it
Its
did.
only goal was to show her that she exists so that she could be in the next one.
Exactly. It was just, we need to get this character into the culture.
So, and we
So-
have to.
Inject it.
That and they needed a first female-led superhero movie.
Yeah, that
for
too.
Marvel,
But
and that was the first one up.
and then in Endgame, she didn't really have a chance to be a
Flew
person.
in and blew up.
She just
spaceship
flies in and like shows up and
and then
she's
gets
there.
punched and then.
Or in Infinity
it's
War. And then
gone.
in Endgame she like barely talks. Like
not
she's
in
in
Infinity
like
War.
she's in like one scene. She's in like the beginning.
Endgame, she at the very end she flies in, blows up the spaceship. He grabs Thanos.
Punches him.
He
Punches him
does a
real
big
good.
punch on her,
And she gets punched.
and that's it.
And that's her all she does. So like she hasn't really had
No.
a chance to be a character.
Remember the girls get it done part?
She did
Where
do
they
the
all
girls get it
together
done
to
first.
help her out, and then she just plows through a bunch of guys, and the rest of them didn't help.
The rest of
don't
them are
do
just
anything.
there, like, because they don't really know what to do. But she hasn't really had a chance to be a real character. She was stuck in this weird movie where they completely butchered her origin, where they completely stripped her of everything that made her interesting because they had to in order to make it fit into the next movie.
She fights a lame and forgettable villain.
And then in the next movie, where she's meant to be this be all end all of heroes, this Superman character, she's barely in the movie. So I think Captain Marvel has been done more dirty than I think almost any other Marvel character except maybe Thor. I think in terms of
guess.
what her character used to be compared to what it is in the movies, I think she's been done exceptionally dirty.
I don't feel. If this is
Do you remember
bad.
Do you remember Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
yes, I do.
Can you could you describe her personality in that show?
She is sort of sarcastic. She's also nice. She's a good leader. Gets along with everybody. She is also one of the first ones suspicious of the trolls, so she's kind of good at investigating stuff.
And she
picking
was
up on
like
things?
she was overconfident at times. That was her like
Yeah.
main flaw. Like
She's kind of learning how to use her.
yeah, so she had like a real character. She was a person in that show. In this one, she just shows up and is the best at everything. And has
No, Sam. She's added stuff at the start because
yeah, it's the way they handle her is not very well done.
Anyway, I don't want to
So anyway, the reason why I bring that up, the reason why I brought up the show, is because I want to point out Captain Marvel isn't hopeless. The character can be interesting and has been interesting in the past. She just got done extremely dirty by the place Marvel was at that point in time.
The only part about that scares me is also have.
Oh, I didn't say I was hopeful. I just said it was possible. Don't confuse me here. I don't think this movie will be good. I'm just saying, don't write it off. The character is not hopeless. Anyway, so to talk about more about this movie specifically, yeah, so it's the most hated Marvel character. I don't think anyone really comes close. I think that is the most hated Marvel character. She's the only one that people really dislike. With 2 side characters from Marvel shows that, to be honest, very few people are really aware of. WandaVision people watched, but
A lot of people watched one.
but she was not a big character.
But she was in it, so they'll probably remember.
She was in it, but did she stand out enough that Grandma, who has seen both, is going to recognize that that's the same person? No, Grandma's. But she does. Let's say you have a cool grandma and she saw WandaVision and she's going to see the Marvels. Do you think she would recognize that that's the same character? I don't think so. I think they'd be like, "Oh, this is just a new person."
Oh, I don't know.
Now Miss Marvel, I think, has a better chance. I think she stood out a lot more.
Yeah, but less people saw that
But
show.
way less people saw that show. So the movie, it's an uphill battle. It is a very steep uphill battle.
All of the Marvel films It's like a 10.
Yeah.
At like a 9. Or at
Like a 2.
5.
For me, it's like a 3.
Like,
I'll give her a 3.
because I feel like I have to. But if I didn't, I would not care.
But I liked Miss Marvel, and
even if it's like, got good reviews.
I liked Miss Marvel, and I liked Photon. I don't remember what her character's name was. Yeah.
Got a couple.
It'll be fine, probably.
Marvel movie.
Shut up and eat your McDonald's.
30.
Comes with a free toy. Go get McDonald's. Get an extra large fries.
The good thing is to get a break. Get like a 6 break after this.
Well, but only kinda.
Well, movies.
For movies.
For shows.
For shows, which are
Never,
basically extra big movies.
It'll
It's more.
Never, ever.
This franchise will never die. I think that's it for July.
Caesar.
For he got killed.
Empire comes.
Don't tell the United States.
What?
All right, August.
Meg 2. Meg 2. Meg 2.
Got Meg
Remember
2.
the Meg?
Vaguely.
Saw that.
Remember how Meg 2 is part of the Meg?
How there's 2.
Yeah. Yeah, Meg twice.
Apparently you go-
This time they're gonna kill 4 of them. That's where the Meg came from.
I guess.
Don't you remember the beginning of the movie where they
No,
go
it
into
just
the
comes from
trench?
really, really-
Yes, that was the trench. That was the trench.
I don't remember anything about the Meg.
That is the only plot detail.
No, the only thing I remember about the Meg is they kill it. Well, the movie, and there's just another one.
Remember
that just
the
shows up.
underwater hotel? And they don't want
Yes.
anyone to know the Meg exists because they want people to go to their hotel.
I remember.
And then the Chinese lady's there, and she has a kid. And then also, Jason Statham is there. And Jason Statham goes, "I'm a man. Look at my hot wife. I got a hot wife."
You have a hot wife?
He was
Yeah.
married to the Chinese lady. No, because they had a kid.
That his kid.
Thought it was. I didn't pay
I
that
don't
much
care.
attention to the movie.
Whatever. I hope this bombs. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
No, this movie made $1 billion in China. They're gonna make $1 million. Speaking of things that should end, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem.
This is an animated. Executive producer by Seth Rogen.
Oh, what?
But hold on. Directed by Jeff.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's got going for it. They put out like a.
Actually, the Ninja Turtles are kind of on a roll lately. Have you noticed that?
That Netflix.
Because it was incredible. Well, the plot, I don't know. I haven't actually seen it. But I've seen the animation on another level. They just had that video game that everyone liked. It was nominated for... Yeah, it was nominated for lots of awards.
Might do okay. August is a date for this.
Yeah, I think this movie is set up to be good.
I think it's
I don't know what Challengers is.
next week.
Grand...
Oh, Challengers. Okay, Challengers.
Okay, we're back. Hello. It's working again. Except for one of the mics isn't, so the mic's right there now. And it's
So the audio's worse, and I'm tired. It's midnight.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we? Gran Turismo.
Don't care.
Gran Turismo.
It's a Neil Blomkamp thing. They're doing.
Is it a video game?
Yeah.
All right. Next, Haunted Mansion.
Oh, this is gonna go to Disney Plus.
Is
No, it isn't. It's right now. It's scheduled for theaters, but it's definitely gonna end up on Disney.
cool. Last Voyage of the Demeter.
I don't care.
Blue Beetle was originally an HBO
Oh,
release.
I want this to do well, but
Me
it
too, I like Blue
won't.
Beetle.
It'll bomb.
And also, like, his story requires that they have the Justice League there.
Not really.
How are they gonna do how are they gonna do the Reach without Justice League?
They just do this evil Scarab, man.
The evil Scarab is the
Also,
Reach.
no, they're not doing them. They're just doing. They're just gonna have it evil. Be an evil.
Black Beetle's the villain, right?
No, it's an evil corporate bad guy.
Would you mean like the Reach?
No, what? Corporate, like a business.
Yes. Remember when the Reach had all those businesses?
No, but it's just like an evil business lady.
a regular business league.
Yeah.
What's they listen?
I don't know. Probably a horror movie.
They listen. We're not.
I'm tired.
Next. Oh, this. Yeah, if you're
Oh,
tired,
you're still
you're
going.
gonna love this month.
September. Oh my God.
What a schedule.
So, September 1st,
Nothing comes out.
The
in
Equalizer
September.
3, which I think it's Labor Day weekend. That might do okay.
Won't.
Yeah, but the first two did fine.
Yeah, but it's the Equalizer.
They're good.
Whatever. Anyway, The Nun 2.
That's gonna make money because it's a horror film. That's the first Conjuring movie in like. Oh no,
No, they did that.
they did the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Haunting in Venice.
That's the next Hercule Poirot mystery.
Oh, that's the next.
Death on the Nile.
Oh, okay.
It's even though Death on the Nile made no money, they're just gonna let him keep going,
They're
I
just gonna
guess.
Make more.
But this one's cast is like much less famous. It's Kenneth Branagh. He's coming back to play the detective. It's Kyle Allen, Emil Cotton, Jamie Dornan, Tina Fey, Michelle Yeoh. So Jamie Dornan is their big male lead. Is their big male guy. Tina Fey is another one, and then Michelle Yeoh, which is not an insult to Michelle Yeoh or Tina Fey or Jamie Dornan,
But they're not as big.
that's no Gal Gadot. That's no Johnny Depp. So
All right. The Expendables 4.
they're still doing
that
this
IP still exists.
until Sylvester Stallone is dead.
Wins.
Oh, that's Taika Waititi's next film about a soccer team.
Cool.
It had what's his face in it? The cannibal.
Cool.
He was also in Death on the Nile. What's his face?
There's a cool man.
What's his name? Armie Hammer.
Armie Hammer.
You know the actor? He got accused of when he was perving on minors, but also he wanted them to do a weird cannibal fetish.
All right.
So he got canceled.
Okay.
But he was in that. But they reshoot all his stuff with Will Arnett instead.
That's funny that they had a cannibal man in the movie.
Yep.
All right. Next. October.
Craven the Hunter might come out, everybody. Do a dance.
Yeah. Ooh.
Craven the Hunter.
You guys know him.
No, you don't.
Go in the comments if you know Craven the Hunter. We're going to get a lot of comments on this one. You know what?
Why?
Go in the comments if you even know what Craven the Hunter is from.
Why do we want more spum? Why are we getting more spum?
Well, after Morbius did so well. I mean, they'd be stupid.
That's
not to
true.
make it
I
up.
mean, you can't make. Why are we doing?
Hey, I mean, one-off Spider-Man villains are big money right now. You know, Morbius, with all Morbius doing so good and everything.
I don't. Why? I'm gonna see this and I'm gonna hate every minute.
All right, what's True Love?
Don't care. The Exorcist is David Gordon.
Not The Exorcist?
No. So you remember the movie The Exorcist from the 70s?
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
So David Gordon Green, who did the last 3 Halloween movies,
Ooh, those were.
he's doing another trilogy of Exorcist films that are a direct sequel, that are a requel to the first one.
Well, if he's good at anything, it's requels.
Well, I mean, the first Halloween 2018 was okay, and
And
then
then the rest were
it just went downhill.
Big doo-doo hills.
And they went downhill. Paw
Which
Patrol, that's gonna make money.
It will.
Because
Why
Paw
not?
Patrol is big, baby. It's big money with the little kids. It's big cash.
Like stupidly
Big
huge
green.
kids. Like that is like the only popular kids brand right now.
And then Saw's coming back again. 10. It's coming out the week of Halloween too, which is also like a bad idea. That's always a bad weekend for
Why
them.
do we?
Because they cost literally nothing to make, and they make so much money.
You know what else movie costs nothing?
Just not making a movie.
And there's only one of those. All right, next.
November, we're getting to the
What we skipped?
holiday
We
season.
got some pretty big boys over here too. Some big booty boys over here. Boys with big booties.
All right, November. Dune Part 2.
I'm hyped for Dune 2.
I am too. I
Dune
think
1
it's
was really good.
I think it might do worse.
I think it might do better.
It could do better.
Because
I don't know.
Most people I don't think were familiar with Dune. I mean, they might have been like passively
Dune
aware
made
of
a
it.
pretty good amount of money for
For what?
2021 and also coming to HBO Max.
And also being an adaptation
It did
of a
400
book that's
million.
almost impossible to read.
It did 400 million, which is
I'm not
it
saying
probably
it's
made
bad.
money.
I'm just saying like half of that book is a dictionary explaining what the book is.
Yeah, so the next one, this one has they added more people to cast, so our new people are Tim Blake Nelson, Leah Seydow, Christopher
I
Walken.
love all these characters' names and how they're just like the stupidest names
Sam,
ever.
these are real people.
No, not the names. I'm talking about the characters
Oh, you
in
mean
Dune.
Paul Atreides, Lady Jessica,
Lady Jessica.
Stilgar,
Oh, Stilgar.
Shaddam 4.
Adam sounds like someone meant to
I
say
know.
them.
My favorite character by far from the first film, who is sadly dead, is now.
Like they all sound like names of like someone making fun of Game of Thrones characters.
On November 17th,
The Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
I feel like this is gonna bomb.
I think it says the word Hunger Games on it.
I don't think anyone cares about Hunger Games anymore.
I think you're forgetting how popular.
It was big, but that was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, so now there's not
People have moved on.
now people are.
No, they're not. It's not been long enough.
All those people are in college now.
But Sam,
If you saw the last Hunger Games movie when you were 12,
so
which is a you definitely could have.
Part 2,
You're in college.
Mockingjay Part 2 made 658 worldwide, which isn't great, and it made less than Part 1 did. So it was already on a decline when it was going out.
Okay, it's got legs. It'll come back.
I don't think anyone's gonna care. It's a prequel. It's got like none of the characters.
Okay, but like the coolest part of
Like, okay, you know what you have to look at to see if this is gonna make money is the most recent Harry Potter films, right? That's another book adaptation going forever, nostalgic audience. The last one, massively underperformed. I think this is not gonna make any money. I just don't see anyone who is interested. I don't see why they would be interested. I don't see it. Like, I don't see why this is getting made.
That's
now.
because you're not friends with any girls.
Sam, does anyone care about this?
The girls care.
They actually...
Yeah, they'd read all the books.
They read this one? They read the prequel one?
If they were hooked enough on the original ones, they did.
I don't think this is going to make... I think it's going to bomb. I really do. I don't think it's going to make any money.
I think it'll break even.
Okay, Trolls 3.
Who cares? Next.
Did Wish, which is their next... That's the Thanksgiving movie.
Oh,
That's
is that their 100th
That's their
year?
100th anniversary one with
The Wishing Star?
Wishing Star and Ariana DeBose is in it. We'll see what happens.
Hopefully it's good.
It needs to be a hit
It needs
so
to
that
Not
Jennifer Lee
embarrass
doesn't get
themselves.
fired and embarrass herself again. Unlike Strange World. And
Last
then-
month.
December. Okay, Wonka on December 15th. Why?
This is the most unnecessary thing I think
Why
that's
does
ever
it
been
exist? Who cares?
made. Why are there two Wonka pre-origin movies?
There aren't.
First one was half Wonka.
The first one.
Not the first one, the second first one.
You mean the Tim Burton one?
The Tim Burton one.
That was really more of a Willy Wonka film than the first one was.
That's
and
what
that
I'm
one-
saying.
The first one was called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That was
He
really
was
more
like,
about Charlie.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the remake was called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and that was really more about Willy Wonka. Bad at naming things. This really has one thing going for it, and that's Timothy Chalamet. And we'll see if that's
He's
enough
in it? Why?
to carry
Is he
it.
Wonka?
Yes. But, bones and all, nobody saw.
Timothy Chalamet is one of those actors who can go in between being a massive superstar celebrity and like being in movies absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
I mean, you remember the movie that like kickstarted his career?
Oh,
The pedophile movie?
that was another
Where a
Armie
25-year-old
Hammer film.
Where a 25-year-old
Sam,
man,
Armie Hammer's everywhere. No one can
or a
escape him.
25-year-old man slowly seduces like a 16-year-old.
Fun times. All right.
Normal movie.
Ghostbusters
was nominated for
4.
awards.
The next Ghostbusters film comes out on December 20th.
Okay.
I'm not feeling good about
I'm not feeling anything.
So it was Jason. So Jason Reitman was supposed to direct it because he did the last one, and then he stepped down, and the co-writer is going to direct it, which worries me because I feel like he's just trying to get out of being involved with this at all.
Does he not want to be involved, or does he not want to do Ghostbusters anymore? Because that's what his.
This is the last one. I don't think he's cursed. I feel like that he's gone, and like he's like, okay, I don't have to do. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
I can
feel
do something else.
I don't feel responsible for this.
Yeah.
But I like the lead girl. She's good. They're going back to New York. So
I want to see them do
just
Globetrotting.
no. Okay,
ghost
here's
guys.
this is really all I want. I just want them to develop the characters they have, give them personalities and names, and just like, do a new villain. I swear to God,
It's Zool again.
if we do Gozer, even anything related to Gozer, if they say Gozer in the movie, I'ma leave. And if it's the stupid Vigo the Carpathian, I will also leave. If they just do Ghostbusters 2 again,
maybe they should.
you know what?
No. Maybe they should though.
Sam,
Think about it. Okay.
Sam, no, I don't want. No, I'm so
What
done.
was Ghostbusters
I'm so
Afterlife? Ghostbusters Afterlife was just.
It was Ghostbusters 1, but
Ghostbusters
this time
1.
it's Stranger Things.
So now we can do Ghostbusters, except for
But we're back in New York, which makes me think they're gonna walk another big thing through the city.
we can do battle.
Sam, what do you think
Mega
what big
battle.
thing is gonna walk through the city? Sam, what big thing?
This time it's gonna be a big donut, man. Instead
we
of a
did-
marshmallow, it's gonna be a donut.
We did Stay Puft. We did
Ghost logo.
no, we did Ghost Logo. We did Statue of Liberty. So what else we got? What else can we do?
Stay Puft.
9/11 Memorial.
Versus.
9/11
No,
Memorial.
Statue of Liberty. We take the original. We take the original two, and now
We fight.
they fight. Mecha
God.
battle,
Why?
and there can be a smaller ghost who pilots the marshmallow.
This is not going to make any money. Gonna do bad, and you know what? Good. The Ghostbusters Afterlife is over. It's time to die. You'll never make You'll never make as good a movie as Ghostbusters. Harold Ramis is gone.
Rest don't want to.
Ivan Reitman's gone. Bill Murray is canceled.
Why?
Roped all those women. Dan Aykroyd is crazy and probably should just be locked up.
Yeah.
And Ernie Hudson, I love you, Ernie.
He's cool.
But what? Just retire. Go home.
No, he
Go home, Ernie. Go home.
Save yourself. It's not too late.
It's just leave. Jason, go do
There's
something
still
else.
time to escape.
McKenna Grace, you got a bright future. You don't have to be
Don't
tied to
ruin it
this.
here.
Ben Wolfhard, you got Stranger Things.
You'll be
Why are you
fine.
wasting your time?
You'll be fine. Don't even worry.
Other kids, why did you hitch your wagon to this?
All right. What's migration?
That's Illumination's film about ducks or something.
Okay,
It'll make a lot of money because it's Illumination.
that's true. Aquaman and the last
Comes out Christmas
movie.
Day. The DCEU's last hurrah. It's a grand finale that was never meant to be a grand finale.
The movie to end all
Delayed a
DC
whole
movies.
year because of how bad it was. Got
Written by
Yes.
Jason Momoa.
got a domestic abuser in it. I can say that because she's
She's
proven
been
in a court of
convicted
law.
now. Yeah,
Um,
it's been proven in a court of law.
unlike how OJ only allegedly killed his wife.
Right, but he still has to pay them money.
That's right. Hired me is much more willing to call people criminals.
I like how they took his book and they made the if really, really small, and it just says I did it. Did you see that? The most recent print of the book, the if is really, really tiny, and it's in the top of the I of the I did it. So it just says I did it in big black text.
You know what? Since we're doing Naked Gun again, put him in
What?
the next one. You know how they're
Oh,
doing?
O.J. Simpson?
Yeah, he was in one
I
of the
thought you were
Naked Gun.
talking about Aquaman. I was
No,
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, he was in one of the Naked Gun movies. You should do when they do the next one. I think it's with like Liam Neeson. They should put him in it.
And he's like holding a bloody knife the whole movie.
He's the killer. He's the killer. I'm gonna write Naked Gun 4, and it's just gonna be Liam
The Hunt for
Neeson
OJ.
solving a murder done by O.J. Simpson. And we're gonna pitch it to OJ like it's not a joke about him murdering his
Yeah, like it's
wife.
100% serious.
Like it's just serious. Oh my god.
All right,
Great.
Aquaman. Lost Kingdom.
Aquaman.
Lost Kingdom.
I think it'll make money because it's Aquaman, but
It will not be a satisfying
no,
finale.
it won't. But that's fine. It's ready to be done.
Because what is born in mediocrity dies in mediocrity.
It will die as it lived, which is controversial. Everyone yelling about it and really just not doing very well financially.
Oh no, Aquaman did really good financially.
Aquaman made $1 billion, but it made like 700 million of that in China.
Aquaman made more money than
Made more money than Batman. All of the Batmans. All of the Superman. And all of the Wonder Womans. And Justice League made less than Midnight Massacre.
That's true, actually.
Like in terms of financially,
No, like
they took a bigger loss than than we took.
we made a more successful movie than the Justice
True,
League.
as in ours lost less money,
Yeah.
and their expectations were a lot higher than ours were. All right, that's movies in 2023.
That's all of it, guys.
We're not going to do games and TV shows because we're already going for 3 hours, so we'll save that for next week.
Oh no, you think we've gone for 3 hours? No, we've gone for 3.
Christ. I don't know what this
might be
episode
the
was.
longest episode.
I don't know what this was.
This was everything. This was all of it. This is the big boy.
I'm literally just going to walk in the other room and fall asleep.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We'll see you
Bye-bye.
next week. Bye-bye.